Okay, now you can hear me. Hello, hi everyone, how are you? It is I, Trooper SJP, and this is the Academic Foxhole, and it is. And I'm streaming the Disco Elysium because I haven't seen you all in a while. Also, wait. I'm getting important information from Krellin that I feel like needs to be discussed, but I'm also getting. The headphones are quite loud. I've got to fix that for me. There we go. Okay, now I'm feeling good about that. Okay, now Krellin was saying something about an imposter. I've got to find out what it is. By the way, I do not know why you got a frozen image of me wearing a sweat jacket that I took off like 15 minutes ago. I don't know why. So let's see. I Ask Scarlet Rose says we need audio and donuts, and this is true. We need both audio and donuts. You can hear the music. Okay. Uh, Jupiter, I was watching 2D6 Judge and I saw you kill me and imposter me. Uh, wait. Okay. Are we are we good right now? How is my audio? How's my audio? Fratani, where is your necktie? Uh, Good. Okay, good. I was just checking my levels. I got stuff I gotta do. You know what I mean? I've got things I've got to check out and explore. How are you all? How is it? So, look, I've got things. We're playing Disco Elysium, which we haven't played in 18,000 years, and I forgot how to play. In case, you wondered. Let me see. I have been sort of massively swamped at work recently. It's been a little bit ridiculous. And today, I did not have to teach classes today, so I spent like a couple of hours just trying to catch up on finances, which I have not finished doing. Uh, and I should probably gather materials for my taxes coming up soon, which I won't do today. But I did that. I have to go and do grading, and I have to upload materials for my course website. So I've got a bunch of academic stuff to do, but I am feeling like, I didn't have to teach today, so that's pretty good. I do have a bunch of uploads to do in the next couple of during Critical Role tonight, is when I'll be uploading music to my course websites, but that'll get done and it'll be good. Yeah, so I impersonated Krellin the other day in 2D6 Dungeon, and then I murdered him. Because why? Why? Dark Clerics. Uh, that's why. Hey PB, how are you? Are you playing Disco Elysium, or we arguing about increasing humanity in V5? Well, I don't think we have to argue about it. Um, I don't think we have to argue about it. I just put bullet points of a VTM PC backstrap on my Google Doc PC repository of PCs I'll probably never use. Ha! Vo, I never create a PC in the absence of a campaign. It's just one of those things. I know that a lot of people will make. There are games, usually ones with meta narrative, where people regularly make PCs in the absence of a campaign. If not a meta narrative, a particular kind of character creation. D&D, absolutely. Vampire, because of the meta narrative, absolutely. I think also Shadowrun, also absolutely. But I don't tend to make PCs in the absence of a campaign. I often can't. I just need to know, like, what rules options are we using? What's happening? Who are my fellow players? I'm just not one of those folks that can. I can't. I just don't. I don't do it. I know that it is done. By the way, this is not a judgment. This is just a note. It's just me talking about how weird I am. That's all. I'm just sort of noting how weird and strange I am about it. It's a weirdness of mine. Uh, you're doing well, thank you, thank you. How are you doing? I'm okay. I'm a little tired because I didn't get as much sleep as I wanted to last night, and I did also spend like 2 hours doing meetings with students. I had this last week. I did like 11 hours, 15 hours of meetings with students. It's just, but sooner the students all. Oh, I need to email. I need to email my sophomores because I believe the deadline for them to declare their major is coming up in a week and a half, and so they have to declare their major toot sweet or they'll be in trouble. So I have to remind them. They should already know this and they should be on top of it, but just a little bit of reminding them. It's that time of year. Let's see. It's nothing solid. Just gives me a resource for making PCs and PCs I can refer to later. Uh, I used to make PCs almost as an exercise to learn the system. Yeah. I will often make a character to learn the system. Absolutely. And if I'm GMing a game, I make I if I'm GMing a game, I will make 4 PCs, some NPCs, and I'll do mock battles. When I'm GMing a game, I almost always spend some time before the game starts, before the players show up, making mock PCs so I know how best to guide the players, and doing mock battles so I can get a sense of mock battles, mock skill challenges, like running, jumping, that sort of thing. Just kind of getting a sense. It's one of the things I do to sort of get the system under my fingers. Which, speaking of which, I don't think I generally. I've done that a little bit with Traveler, but I don't think I've done it with the other games. I should maybe do that one of these days. Just do some of that behind the scenes GM prep for stuff. Let's see. I had to stand out in the cold, oh no, and yell at construction workers for not wearing their fall protection and PPE. I sometimes feel like I'm an overpaid babysitter. You might be. But it is good to, you're taking care of them. Want to trade jobs? Maybe. You might get paid more than I do, so maybe. I find job like when I was in the army, which was a lot of physical labor, I found it easier than this kind of stuff because it was like a beginning end. You know what I mean? Sometimes you had guard duty. It's yeah, maybe, perhaps. I don't know if I'm qualified to do your job though. That's the problem. I don't know if I just don't think I'm qualified to do your job. I think I need to study a lot to get there. Yeah, I just don't think I'm hardcore enough. Good enough? Qualified enough? I was inspired by replaying Coteries of New York. Oh, I have to play that. I've been making V-Team characters all day because I'm making sheets for my Immortals players. Yes. When I'm GMing, I make characters all the time. But see, when I'm GMing, I'm making characters because of a context for the characters to make, When I'm doing like getting to know the system, I usually will do like certain archetypes, like no personality, of course. Like I'll make characters without really any personality. I'll be like big, strong, talky, fast, tricky, whatever the archetypes might be. Coteries is good, Shadows is way better. Oh.
Come on to my house.
Come on to my house, come on. Come on to my house, come on. Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you candy. Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you everything. Boo ba doo ba doo boo, boo ba doo ba doo boo, boo ba doo ba doo boo, ba doo ba doo ba doo. Hey, Other Doc, thank you for the raid. Now, hold on, I gotta go and give us the raid symbol. Hold on. I need to put this in here so that you know. Now, I think I need to gift Nightbot a sub so it can actually use my emotes. Ce n'est pas un raid, Other Doc. How are you? Other Doc, what are you doing? What were you streaming? How is it going? Give me all the skinny. Give me the skinny. Give me the skinny. Allo, raiding. Allo, raiding. Any night, every night. Let me see. I love the idea of playing through the Embrace. Oh, yeah, me too. I have a story about that. Vera Vorsted, how are you? Hello. Any night, all night, any night. I quite like the idea of the GM playing through the Embrace individually with each player and then time skip when the first proper session happens. They all know each other as mortals already, and then they're going to go on COVID lockdown with their sires. Nice. Ooh, what a nice idea, Krellin. That's really good. I like it. My friend Lucci and I were continuing our kick of playing old text adventures, and we're streaming Deadline. Okay, so old text adventures? You know what? Speaking of old text adventures, you know what would be fun for me to stream for you all? Leather Goddesses of Phobos. That one I don't think I ever finished. But on the other hand, I don't know how fun it would be to play long term. Well, although, on the other hand, to be fair, if I did stream Leather Goddesses of Phobos or Hitchhiker's Guide, I could at least crowdsource ideas, because you know those old Infocom games are all about trying to guess what word you're supposed to use. Pick up book. I don't see a book. Take book? You take the book. No. Take book? I don't know what book you're talking about. Take book from table. I don't know what table you're talking about. Take book from north table. I don't... Take book from large table. You take the book. Okay.
Come on to my house.
Come on to my house, come on. Come on to my house, come on. Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you candy. Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you everything. Boo ba doo ba doo boo boo ba doo ba doo boo boo ba doo ba doo boo ba doo ba doo ba doo. Thank you, Apochromatic Unlimited. Thank you for the raid. How are you doing? How is it going? I need to go and give some shout outs to both of you all. That's what I need to do. Let me... Other Doc was such a great GM for that spy game that I was in, and follow Other Doc if you have not. And also, streamer, Apochromatic Unlimited.
Somebody's
Apochromatic
watching
Unlimited
me.
is full of coolness. Excuse me one moment. I always feel that somebody's watching me.
Name game.
And I have no privacy. Whoa, I always feel that somebody's watching me. Tell me, is it just a dream? Ba-da-ba-ba-bow. Thank you for that follow. Also, you know, it is, we just got a sub. And when we have the subs, I do sing. I also sing for any reason, really. It's just an excuse to sing is really what I'm here to say. But we have a resub from one of our mods, and also one of my dear friends. I'm not going to say old friends because we're not that old. That's just my story, and I'm sticking to it. And also my GM for Call of Cthulhu. And so, Arissa, the name game. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F, or an M will appear. And then I say bo at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fan, or info. Then I say the name again with an F, very plain. Then a fee, fi, and a mo. Then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can rhyme. Rissa.
Somebody's
Rissa,
watching
Rissa,
me.
Bobissa, banana, fana, fofissa, fee, fi, mo, missa. Rissa. The name game. Thank you for that resub. 58-month streak. It's wild. It's wild. Yes, I also did IKEA trip tomorrow. Oh, IKEA. I know the Blahaj is intended a gift for a friend when I finally visit them. I have not even seen one of them before. I'm gonna have to check out to see if Zork is on Steam. Ooh, Zork's another good one, actually. Zork's another good one. But I'm sure you all know about those Infocon games where all you have to do is you're just like, leave room. You can't leave the room. Open door. Turn knob. Open door. Leave room north. You all know how it is. You remember. You remember all those games where it was just a long process of guessing what were the right words were in order to leave the room. Yep. Dunkelskog, a IKEA cuddly bear. Aww. Yeah. IKEA cuddly shark. Fight troll. I'm sorry. I don't see a troll. There's a troll attacking me. What am I doing? Yes. Yes. Dang it, man. Fight troll with what? Oh. Vera Vorsted, you know exactly. You know exactly what this is about. You know. You know. You know. Yeah. Yep. Fight troll with sword. I'm sorry, you don't have a sword. Fight troll with gold sword. Yeah. Yeah, I remember. I remember those days. Almost every trans mask and most trans people I know have, in real life, have a blahage. I bet the people that you know who have them are not 50, because I think that's a youngin' sort of a thing. Because I was like, what? What? I just heard about it actually recently on Reddit. I was like, oh, must be a young person thing. Yes. I love the Parsley games that turn Infocom syntax into what's basically live performance art. That sounds awesome, and you should link one or two of them in the Discord because I want to check them out. I want to check them out. That's, by the way, we're just gonna, while we're here, we're just going to, you know, walk. Because if I remember correctly, we have to just, we have to find cryptids, is I believe what the deal is here. That's my, I believe that's what we got going on. So we're gonna just, you know, oh.
That patch of reeds over there, it's a great place to hide something. Kind of out of the way, being so close to the water.
Wait, I can't see anything interesting. Wait, what is this about?
Just a hunch. The hunch passes, leaving you there, by the old boy bobbing in the water. Time to go.
No. No, there's definitely something here. I'm gonna check it out. A boy bobs in the water. The number on it says 11. Don't you hate it when you feel like you missed the thing? Especially if you're used to Infocom games where you must get all of the things all the time. Oh. Just... These heavy military blockades are riddled with bullet holes, crumbling. I feel like I picked the wrong choice. So anyway, what games are you playing? But now I'm just thinking about Infocom games, just for the record. Ooh, pardon me? I picked the wrong button. Whew. Yeah, the creators compiled them into a book at this point. Oh, momentumori.com. Oh. Let me copy this link and open up a new tab. People have met me. They know what I do. I copy links and open tabs. That's what my life is. And I think everybody knows it. I feel like that's what we know. My friends have been lobbying me to play Helldivers 2. Ha! I got a package that I forgot to order. Oh! I got a package as well. Hold on, I'll show you. Wait, I haven't opened it, but I know. Hold on. I got a package. Wait. Okay, so this one is not an RPG book, surprisingly, but I ordered it. It took a long time for it to come in, and I didn't want to open it until I got on stream because I thought you might be interested. Humanity as a whole is over. I like humanity for two reasons: food and music. Like, humanity can't be bad when they make like delicious food and also delicious music. You know. But I am also a bit of a Pollyanna, I have to say. Okay, I think you might find this interesting. I love itch.io as a resource, but I'm pissed at them at the moment over the Games for Gaza thing. What though? What happened? What happened with the Games for Gaza thing? I haven't heard about it. I don't. I'm gonna let you play not talk about humanity. We're gonna talk about it. Okay, so here it is. I got it. See? Wait. Now you can see it better. You're like, that's not. What is it? I know. I have to actually open it. I know. I was joking with y'all. I was making a haha, a funny, because I thought that would be amusing. Okay. So I was looking over at the Fantagraphics website not too long ago, and I was noting that they had some really great reprints of like some old stuff. So this one here, and you know how I am about old stuff. I'm very interested in history. So this here is a lost, an undiscovered, important work of art. So this here is Frank Johnson. So this is Frank Johnson, secret pioneer of American comics. Contents: Wally's Gang Early Years, 1928 to 1949, The Bowser Boys, 1946 to 1950. And its editor, it's volume 1. I don't know if there's going to be a second volume out. But so this was a guy who started making basically a graphic novel back in 1928 before that sort of thing was really a thing. And he did cartooning on the weekends, right, in his own sort of free time. And so here, I'll read it to you. When Frank Johnson, an itinerant musician and shipping clerk, died in 1979, he left behind a startling discovery: more than 2,300 notebook pages of comics and 131 unbound drawings, among them a long, continuous story beginning in the earliest surviving notebook, dated 1928, before the existence of comic books. Following the exploits of his cast of characters across 50 years until Johnson passed away. During this lifelong project, Johnson invented in private many of the conventions and tropes that define comic storytelling, effectively enacting an alternate secret history of the comics medium. This collection is the first time ever publication of Johnson's work and includes Wally's Gang, his 50-year magnum opus chronicling the humorous, cliff-hanging adventures of a group of bachelor friends, The Bowser Boys, a seamy, darkly slapstick depiction of bohemian street life that could be considered the first underground comic story, Juke Boys, absurd, self-reflective graphic experimentation, edited by curator and historian Chris Byrne and fine artist and graphic novelist Keith Morganson. Keith Mayerson, who have not only brought this astounding work into the light of day, but provide historical background and analysis as well. So, check it out, right? This guy was making a comic before comic books were even made, and it's all this sort of like weekend cartoonist. And he made these things like on the cover of his notebooks, right? And right, so this is like, I was like, oh, a guy from the 1920s that's like, and you can tell like it's on, it's on lined paper. I don't know if you can see, but it's on lined paper, and I am super stoked actually for this. And you can see, look at that, right? The backs and fronts of each of the notebooks that make up this thing. And this is this is volume 1. When I ordered this a while ago, volume 2 had not come out yet, but how cool is that, everybody? How cool is that? I am very excited about that. Like, that's like, how cool is that? That's all I have to say. Oh. Is Nightbot confused right now? Oh, it is confused. Let me fix that. Ba 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 ba. Hello, Nightbot. How are you doing? What's going on with you? I just need to update this. And then also this. Good. Fixed. Done. Thank you. Also, Apochromatic Unlimited. What were you streaming? What were you streaming? I need to know. I need to know. This is what I have to find out about also. There we go. All right, let's see. I've got it too long. Didn't read. A naughty book wrapped in the brown paper? Hey Schmelzer, wie geht's? Servus. Grüezi miteinander. Grüezi miteinander. Was machst du denn da, du Schmelzer? This thread explains it, but the TLDR is a bunch of money was raised for humanitarian relief in Gaza via a bundle that closed last autumn. Money has still not been transferred, and Itcher seemingly ghosting the organizers of the bundle. Oh. That's not good. What is that about? I wonder what's going on. That's, worrisome. This is a six-figure amount in the middle of a genocide, so the difference that money would make is potentially quite substantial. Yeah. I hope that's going to get cleared up. I got Jason Bradley Thompson's graphic novel, The Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath, and other stories from the source for only $25. Ooh, okay, so Max, I have a question. Why are we both getting comics? Why is that? What's happening? Why is it that the thing that you got and the thing I got are both comics? What's up with that? I feel like brainwaves. It's the art, right? This is some wild stuff, right? Isn't that really cool? This is where you find out there's a mythos type, probably. Someone get a Nightbot and coffee. I proposed to me Night Yell. Oh, cool. You know, I was thinking about, it's probably how Israeli influence about, I want to read yours too. Yeah, I'm just excited
Name
about
game.
it. Oh. Got a sub. The name game. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name. I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F. More an M will appear. And then I say bow at a B. Then I say the name. Then banana, fanner, and foe. Then I say the name again with an F. Very plain. Then a fee, fi, and a mo. Then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. Roller, roller, bowler, banana, fanner, fofoler, fee, fi, momolar. Roller, the name game. Yay! Thank you for that resub. You can't handle the truth, Dubois. I moved it to my bookshelf over there. But I got the collected edition of Love and Rockets, the first 50 issues. I got this now, which is like super cool. I got this collection of women comic book artists in the 1920s. So I'm feeling pretty good. I just need to be able to sit down on a lawn chair on the beach and just read comic books. That's what I need to do. That's what I need. Yeah, 9:30ish, about 9:30ish, around there. I was jazzed because I never got the confirmation email for the purchase and wondered if the site was dead. Other copies I saw the book run from 50 to 150, so I was being optimistic, and it paid off. Ooh, I actually don't think I know this source. I don't know this source. Tell me about it. Just Roller will do. Yeah. You spin me right round. You know, it's just, it's just sad, you know? It's sad. And I see you, Volpez. Okay, so I don't think we can check this one yet because we have to check other places for cryptids. Uh, what are we going to find? I don't even know. But we'll find stuff. Uh, oh. So there was something I wanted to chat with you all about. By the way, here we are. No boat in the boathouse today. Playing the... What is all this? Oversized superstar sunglasses. And a whole bunch of... I've got a lot of stuff that heals, what's the word? Morale. Okay, so I think we just got some sunglasses. And what do these do? +1 savoir faire, -1 visual calculus. And my current glasses give me +2 encyclopedia, -1 perception. I feel like we're fine where we're at. We could use more. We could level up is what we could do. Can you link here? So, can you link here? Maybe. Regulars can link here, so it's possible that you can link here. If you can't link here, we can make you a regular, and then you can link here.
There's a trap in the reeds at your feet.
Ooh.
Looks like the same one you saw Morel set before. Same mesh, same wiring.
Oh,
Behind you,
I'll look
the
around.
ruins of a residential building rise over the reeds, shielding them from the wind. The reeds rustle confidently.
I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check chat. Need a sub max. Best to post it in Discord. No, you don't have to have a sub. You just have to be a regular. And we can make anybody a regular. I just think the issue is that I think we only have a limited number of regulars. So if we add somebody, then somebody else gets bumped off, and we just add them again. Like, it's not a big deal. I don't really mind. Let's see. So go ahead, give it a try. My ship is. For what it's worth, I draw a distinct line between Israel and Jew. Not the same thing. Not even an encapsulated subset. Yeah. It's basically a Mockman.com. Oh. Yeah. Max, it looks like you're a regular. Yeah. I see it. I'm going to reach for this trap.
Locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused but uneaten. You see no carnivorous reed phasmid gorging on them.
Big surprise. Anyway, 1 down, 3 to go.
All right. Damn, I was hoping it would be the first one.
No, you weren't.
He looks at the sea, then at you, laying the trap back down on the ground. That's fair. Hey, did I actually look at everything in here? I feel like I didn't. Oh, this section of the coast hasn't used in decades. Thompson also does those maps of well-known dungeon scenarios and how the party made out. He did the haunting from Force. Oh, that's cool. Give me links. I must see these things. The boathouse is shoddily constructed. A strong breeze might blow it over. Okay. So we are currently wandering around the coast, seeing what we can see, what there is. Oh, I don't know if you heard, but apparently the sequel and the expansion for this game have both been canceled, which I'm not that shocked by, considering all the... Everyone's sort of framing it as like everybody's being laid off, but I think
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
Why I am looking forward to finally getting my copy of the best 2022 H.P. Lovecraft Film Festival. Oh, nice. Now I'm just copying this link address and I'm opening up a new tab. Why am I doing that? I think you all know why. Because I'm addicted to tabs. I mean, I think that's like a pretty clear... Oh, that's so interesting art. Yeah. Excited about that. So, I want you to know that I did some work that right on Friday after 2d6 dungeon. And I was able to fix that one thing I want to do. So I fixed some things up, and I was about to go and do like automation on the attack rolls, and I realized that I couldn't because of the shifting, right? So you can't actually check to see if it's a hit or not because you shift. So it's like, uh, that's fine. Let's see what else I can do. Let's see. Look, Kim, more bullet holes. Something's definitely gone down here.
Correct. The density of the bullet holes is unusual, even in a general average bullet hole frequency in Martinez sense. Grim affairs.
Oh, you know what that looks like? That looks like there was an execution, is what that looks like.
Meaning, this is a lot of bullet holes. Looks like fully automatic rifle fire. Something you don't see these days.
I will say nothing and just nod.
The lieutenant also nods. It is quite a scene. The two of you standing next to the broken wall of an abandoned building, nodding along.
Yeah, that's an execution spot.
Two officers of the law against the world, nodding in unison. It is your source of power. The bond of camaraderie between you is palpable.
I'm gonna nod even more.
The lieutenant is nodding so hard it looks like his head is about to snap off his neck.
Look at us. I will stop nodding.
All right. I'm glad we stopped when we did. My neck was starting to hurt. If there's nothing more, we should get going.
I did have
Follow your brother into death itself.
Hey, we're like getting along. I feel like maybe Harry has a friend. Maybe. You know? Like we might have a friend. Basically was the last of the original writers of the game were finally let go from the publishing company. Yeah. I was like gearing towards having a high visual calculus helps with many plot points in the game. Finally, Mockman.com has a load of free online comics in a style. Oh. Was there a drink called Tab? Is it still around? There certainly was a drink called Tab. I don't know if it's still around, actually. Oh, more news. The Arkham book came out on Chaosium today. Oh, I saw the cover, maybe? Did I see the cover? Let's, roll. I'm gonna close my eyes.
Unable to piece together the big picture just now. There's a hole in their hypothesis.
Fine, okay.
The scattering of bullet holes looks like one giant smiling mouth, smiling its deadly smile.
I was just off by 3. I just needed 3 more. I rolled a 5 out of 2d6. Yeah. I mean, I could have got it. Tab was discontinued in 2020? Oh, no way. Huh. I will walk away. So, I'm having ancient paint is peeling off the roof of this shaded bench, covered in rust. I want to live here. No, I don't want to live here. I want to visit here. The sign says, Entrée interdite. Yeah, so I want to, an old ticket taker booth, no longer in operation. An old ticket taker. Because it was sort of like a holiday space, right? Yeah, I just, I don't want to live here, but I want to visit so I can get to know the world better. Just so you know. Oh, Vo, go to bed. I will talk to you later. Coke was also experimenting with stevia before the pandemic. Oh, really? Oh, not into. I just want Coke with actual sugar. You know, that's really all I want. Also, that was definitely an execution squad spot. Is what I'm gonna say. Just, you know, in my opinion. What is that? Fallen Peepo. What is that? What is that? We've got a beer. It's fine. This is a +2 logic. Small wire framing inside this futuristic-looking Fallen Peepo hat gives it the aerodynamic shape of a swoop skier's helmet, but none of its protective qualities. Covers the wearer's ears and eyebrows to bring down the drag coefficient. So that would give me +2 logic, -1 perception. This is giving me +1 logic, -1. I feel like my perception's pretty good though, right? I feel like I could wear that hat. What's my perception? Perception. My perception's a 3. It's not the best. It could be better. Could be better. I think it's a better trade-off. I like Mr. Pibb. I mean, I prefer Dr. Pepper. I prefer the Dr. Pepper. Let's go put this on. Woo! That seems fun. That seems fun. This. I vaguely remember hearing a story on NPR recently about someone trying to hunt down the remaining supplies of tab. Oh. By the way, we have to inspect the traps. The trap in Land's End, far northeast of the Feld building. The one that he's just set up, and the trap near the canal-like cross southeast of the village. So we'll have to find it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. There's a lot of tab for sale online. Barontor, this door is not only barred shut, it is inaccessible. What do you think happened to this building? I think there was an assassination. I think there was a summary execution during the Revolutionary days. That's what I think. Those are just... And I also do not think it is easy to get out of this building. No math, 4-year-old tab. Let's see if we can make our way out. Just go, guy. It's an honorary degree. I can respect that. So it doesn't look like we can go further this direction. We might have to go around, which we should do. Also, is there there's like a map, right? Where's our... Do we have a... Okay, so this is our map. And we're looking at the northeast. There might be one near the northeast of the Feld building. Well, yeah, there definitely wasn't there was definitely an assassination here. Just an execution is probably the best way to put it, sorry. There was 100% an execution here, and I am letting you know that I know it. Just, yeah. Okay, let's cross. I do think the Feld building is that when we were up there. We're going to find all of our, what do you call them? Cryptid traps. Also, I think maybe we can't go any further. I think this might be the edge of our map. I think. I mean, we'll see. Disco Elysium, alt-reality comic books, and soda discussion. This is a cool stream. Right? Okay, so when it comes to soda, I do really love a good Dr. Pepper. I prefer Coke to Pepsi, but I like Coke when it's fresh. Like, I find like the best drink of Coke is the first sip when it makes your eyes crinkle. You know when you have like your first sip of Coke and like it has that bite to it and you go like, oh, and it hits your eyes? I like that. Just in case anybody wanted to know. Oh, Fountain Coke is good. It enters the... So, okay, so I actually feel like one of the places that we need to look is probably up here. I think we can probably find that other trap, maybe up here somewhere. We'll just give it a good 360, give it a good 1C. see we can check out. Okay, I'll be in and out trying to finish about an hour of audio from your RPG journal. Yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff to do to get prepared for the gamblers, but I'm not there yet. But I will be. Just not there yet.
A familiar apparatus lies among the reeds. Another one of Morel's traps, weighed down by stones to keep it in place.
I will look around.
The reeds sway in the coastal breeze. They seem to be waiting for something.
See, Other Doc knows, the teary-eyed Coke sting. Yeah. Does anyone remember red cream soda? I've not been able to find the West Coast in decades. I haven't
The
had
wind
it,
picks up
but I remember it.
near the Cape's end, surrounding the narrow strip of land from 3 cardinal directions. It's cold for this time of year.
I'm gonna reach for the trap.
This trap is also full of panicked locusts. No sign of any cryptozoological beast inside.
Do you think we're gonna find one?
Another empty trap.
The lieutenant takes a note, more of habit than of duty. Let's keep going. The next one is the lucky one.
Yep. The next one has a crab trapped in it. These are just crab traps, you do realize?
He raises his collar. It's windy. I feel like he's trying to tell me something. Also, I think he's a skeptic. I don't think he believes in the cryptids, but that's okay. He doesn't have to believe in the cryptids. We are friends. And oh. This relay tower coordinates boat traffic in the bay. Barely. Ooh, did you hear that sound? This game is very good with sounds. And, oh, speaking of sounds, I was told that the movie Zone of Influence is really good with sound, that it uses sound really, really well. So I should see it. I just don't have time for anything in my life. You know. Okay, so we have looked at 2 of the 4 traps. I think in terms of business we have to do, I think we just have to report back to our teenagers who are into
An old door worn by elements.
talk about music. And yeah, I think we're in a pretty good space. I feel like we could probably explore a bit more maybe, but I think we're good. There's one drink I still want to try if it ever reaches Canada, grape knee-high. Oh, I've never had it. That's okay if you don't believe in cryptids. The cryptids believe in you. Other Doc, I have a question for you. Why is it that when I think of you, talking about, why, when I think of you, do I think of cryptids? Why is that?
Hello again.
Hello. Trooper, you don't take too much of your life. I do, actually. That is true. I do. It's, hey, Hawkeye. It's tricky, right? Because students have the expectation that you will be available to them whenever. So it's a bit tricky. Hawkeye, I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you know what is, I don't know if you know this, but I did check the, okay. Yeah, so I don't know if you know this, Hawkeye, but something just happened. You may not be aware, but the thing that just happened, it was the name game. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F, more an M will appear. And then I say Bo at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fan, or info. Then I say the name again with an F, very plain. Then a V, Fi, and a Mo. Then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. Hawkeye, 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 bo Buckeye, banana, fana, fo Hawkeye, fee, fi, mo mock eye. Hawkeye, the name, yeah. Thank you for that resub, Hawkeye. Hawkeye, I don't think I've ever asked you about your username. I feel like the obvious thing is that it's related to Hawkeye from the X-Men, but what if it's not? What if it's actually related to something different? And so I wanted to ask you if your name is from the Hawkeye from the X-Men, or if it's a different Hawkeye, and if it is the Hawkeye from the X-Men, is that your favorite X-Men? If it is a different Hawkeye, then what is that Hawkeye? That's what I want to ask. Oh yeah, what if it's Hawkeye Pierce? Hawkeye Pierce? Hawkeye State? I would like more information about this. I can either confirm or deny my correspondence with the Jersey Devil. See, I swear there's something about you and Cryptid's other doc. This is what I feel like. This is what I'm saying. Nothing will beat the old school subterranean sodas, especially the ginger ale. Ooh, that was extra ginger spicy, and the almond smash was the original bright red cherry soda. I have a thought about this. It's them, Kem. I would love for someone to make a brand of soda that's just named soda. Make every vending machine look like a Disney prop. Okay, so here's the thing. It's them, Kem. I actually think that exists. At least, I don't know if it does anymore, but when I was a kid, if you would go to like a Safeway or like one of those kind of things, they'd have the generic products. They still have them, right? And I remember there was generic soda that you could get. It was just soda. I think they had like cola, soda, which I think was basically like a 7-Up. Grape soda. I feel like that existed. I don't think I made that up, and I don't think I was hallucinating. I feel like that was a thing. I don't know if it's still a thing, but I feel like it was a thing. Graduate from the University of Iowa Hawkeyes and the University of Kentucky. Ah! Hawkeye isn't really from the X-Men, since he's not a mutant. He, like the rest of the non-mutant Marvelverse, is sort of separate. Soda would not be a trademarkable brand, and no one would ever do that. Hardcore, except for store brands. Yeah, because I thought it was like the generics. Because you could get like, the big generics.
Hi again. So, how are things going?
Avengers. I was reading the West Coast Avengers. So look, I'm gonna just tell you all, and this is I'm not judging. I'm just informing. Growing up, I wasn't really a Marvel kid. I was more of a DC kid than a Marvel kid, so I didn't read a lot of the Marvel stuff. I had a good friend who was all up in the X-Men, but I didn't read a lot of Marvel, mostly because I was really into the non-superhero comic books, and DC had a bunch of non-superhero comic books. I remember, starting off with like The Witching Hour, House of Secrets, House of Mystery, and then they had the Sword and Sorcery books like Warlord, Arion, Lord of Atlantis. They had Jonah Hex. They had The Shadow, which I loved, a good pulp. And then, of course, later they would have like all the Vertigo stuff. But when it came to Marvel, what I did read was in Marvel UK, Alan Moore did a run of Captain Britain before Captain Britain was in Excalibur, and that was like dark and awesome, and I really loved that. And Marvel had the Ghost Rider, right? The first generation Ghost Rider. Johnny Blaze, that was Marvel, right? Yes. So I read Ghost Rider, which I liked. Captain Britain from Marvel UK. I read some Excalibur when that came through. Yes. So that was although at the time Marvel did have Conan. Yes, I did read Conan. I read Conan, but that was one of the other Marvel ones that I read. Oh yeah, and DC had Amethyst, Princess of Gemworld. They had a bunch of like non-hero books that I quite liked. But I did also read the West Coast Avengers for a bit. Trivia fact, the vast majority of generic cola used to be just repackaged RC. Oh, I didn't know that. Store brand generics are still a thing? You know what? The next time I go to like Star Market, I should go check for generics. Apparently, this is to go and yes and Hawkeye. I'm sorry, Yeah, Hawkeye. That I was told that a lot of those generics were actually just name brand products from the same company, but like, you know. About the church, I checked it out.
And? What happened?
I talked to the Crabman.
Oh man! Who is he? What did you think?
He seems okay, to be honest. Very spiritual.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. What's he doing in the church?
Just preaching and praying from the looks of it.
No matter. Is he gonna be a problem?
The paranoid young man mumbles gruffly. I gotta say, like, this guy looks creepy to me. It's the eyes, I think. They're very intense.
Noid is right. Let's get back to the point. What are we gonna do about him?
These guys will never catch him. You will never catch him. There's nothing to do.
Oh. Actually, he told me he wouldn't mind the nightclub at all.
I don't know, man. Doesn't it feel like a major hindrance to you? A spooky guy climbing around when all the guests are trying to have nice, friendly hyper time?
You're just gonna have to live with the Crabman.
I guess it's not a massive problem, now that I think of it.
Hmm.
Everyone is welcome to dance till the morning light! Yeah!
I just want to note that our guy here looks a lot like Nosferatu. Count Orlok, that's all I'm saying.
Maybe. I guess we'll figure something out. Okay, but what about the other spooker? The one in Grandma's clothes? Did you see her?
Other Doc says, your mother's a big fan. Oh, I was a huge fan of Arion. And the artist Jan Dorsima would go on to do a lot of the art for the Star Wars comics, which I think were also Marvel, and I also read some of those. A lot of the generic, just like a lot of generics, including drugs, are made of the same plants as the brand name, just with different labeling. Yeah, that's what I heard. I get Giants brand sodas, and yes, most store brand everything is just relabeled big brands. That same for the Kirkland brands Costco sells. Oh, that's interesting. Zanzibar says, that's true, at least in food production. Products of the same variety will often be packaged for different brands unless the brand in question wants a specific recipe. I do this with bread for a living. Oh, really? So, I imagine it's about price point stuff, right? Like, because, I mean, like, your first thought would be that they would repackage stuff they couldn't sell as the generics, but it sounds like they make them both at the same time. So it must just be, like, having things at different price points, I guess. Yet, I now worry that all the bass will throw the bass will throw the Crabman off balance. Zanzibar, what state do you live in? I have a bread question. I was using the mainframe when Sue, the former lead programmer of Fortress, appeared.
A programmer? That's
Yeah.
odd. What was she like? Did you ask her about the nightclub?
She said you guys haven't been completely honest with me about your plans.
Come on, man. Who will you trust? A spooky programmer or us? We just want to make the world a better place.
Better living through chemistry?
Feels the love! Get down and feel it!
The stuffy tent muffles the last two words. The command fails to impress.
A half-hearted sell of something which does not seem worth buying.
Okay, maybe I'm kind of feeling it.
You'll get there, believe me. When we've got our gear set up, things will be flowing and pumping. Anyway, now that it's settled, how did she seem? I mean, disposition-wise, about the dance club idea. Yeah, Oda 9. Rocking it or dropping it?
I mean, she did not like the Anotic Dance Club idea.
What a pity! That's my favourite thing in the world, and she doesn't like it at all.
I didn't say that. I just said she wasn't keen on the idea. He drops the hammer back into a toolbox.
A shame. What can we do now? Do you see a way out of this jam and into a laser-lit future of dance and unity?
Plur, peace, love, unity, respect.
Unity! Dance!
Okay, Egghead, I do love you. Like, I do love him. He makes me chuckle. She made it very clear that she won't leave until her own project is
And
finished.
you can't just evict her?
No, I won't evict her. We have to come up with a different solution.
Look at you, honor man.
Yeah?
No, Noid. He's right. Maybe we've approached it the wrong way after all. I'm sure there's a workaround. We can make a deal not to bother her.
For example.
If that's okay with her, we only want to get in the church and spread the joy and ecstasy of music.
The ecstasy of music.
The lines in the dark exist. Coexist.
Egghead, I just want you to be my hype man. I want Egghead to be my hype man. I'll just like wander around and then Egghead will just say things.
Crabman seems like an advanced being. He's hard. He'll understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can do his climbing thing in the tower. And the programmer, does she like anodic dance music?
I mean, she absolutely does not. Really, truly, she despises it. I'm not gonna lie.
Egghead cannot believe what you just
I
said.
know.
It makes him pump the jam a little slower for a moment.
Oh.
But then he returns to the full swing of it.
No worries. We'll figure it out. If coexisting fails, you can always muscle her out, right?
No,
If it's all okay with you, what do you think?
I'm not gonna muss up. She's gonna be, look. She's gonna finish her thing and then she'll go and you'll be fine. Maybe. Let's see. Sure, can't promise anything though. So when I was a kid, I'm from California, San Francisco Bay Area. My aunt and uncle and cousins came to visit from Bristol, Pennsylvania, and they'd never had sourdough bread before. And my dad was like, "Yeah, it just hadn't made it out there yet." And this was the 80s, and it hadn't really occurred to me that could be a thing, that like would be places where you just couldn't get sourdough bread. That was a trip for me as like a little 12 or 13-year-old. And I suppose my question is, like, I have a hard time believing that that's still the case. Like, I just imagine you can get sourdough bread anywhere in 2024. Is that so or is that not so? Are there still places you can't get sourdough bread? Because like that's I mean, it's sourdough bread. Why you? I mean, I'm gonna drink this ginger ale. By the way, I love Blenheim is a really spicy ginger ale, and that's so good. This is just Canada Dry, which is just fine, but you know. Yeah. I mean, 2024, you can get sourdough bread everywhere, right? I mean, I can't imagine that you can't get sourdough bread everywhere now. That like major chains, although again, I believed that in the mid 80s and that just wasn't true. But I feel like now it has to be true. You can't get sourdough bread in Kazakhstan. Okay, anywhere in North America, right? Right? This feels like Marie Antoinette 2K24. If they do not have cake, let them eat sourdough bread. Sourdough bread. The name game. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. I'm gonna do the entire name, the first letter of the name, the entire name. I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F. Or an M will appear. And then I say boo at a B. Then I say the name, then banana, fanner, and foe. Then I say the name again with an F, very plain. Then a fee, fi, and a mo. Then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. Whole name. How we rollin'? How we rollin'? How we rollin'? Bo bowie roll on, banana fana fo fowie roll on, fee fi mo maui roll on. How we roll on the name, yeah. Yeah, thank you for that resub. Thank you. Um, well, in cities and around big urban environments, sure, but smaller towns, doubtful. Here in Hawaii, you can just pick up sourdough bread, but back in the early '90s, it wasn't all that common, I think. Yeah, and like and I was told that's something to do with climate that you can't make, and Zanzibar would know this better. That you can't just make sourdough bread in every climate, apparently. No clue, but after the pandemic, everyone made it. So I'm guessing it was around back then. I would have to ask my parents, but I remember having it on the East Coast when I was younger. Probably depends on where they were living and family traditions, because it's not hard to make. Oh, interesting. Okay. To be fair, my first time eating anything sourdough was a burger from Jack in the Box as a kid. Also, where sourdough starters are alive. Yeah, so like I was told, so there are still, like, apparently, when I was down in Atlanta, there's food like divinity, which you can't really get outside of the South. So there are just apparently some things that are very climate dependent and don't really make it everywhere. The grocery stores around me in North Carolina have sourdough, but the quality is usually pretty mediocre. I would love to try some really good sourdough sometime. Yeah. It's just a yeast culture you keep growing. Huh. I used to see marble rye breads all over the place, but now I hardly ever see it. Nor pumpernickel. Never see it other than places with special bakeries. I used to see marble rye and pumpernickel all the time. I mean, in the Bay Area, we had a lot of bakeries that had bakeries and delis with a lot of special bread. Aren't sourdough starters a pain to maintain, like having a pet? I think so. I think there might be something climatey about it. My dad believes that certain quality grains of bread are now extinct. Oh. Huh. Once you've started, you just keep adding flour and water, I think. See, I think there's something about, and I may be wrong, but I think there's something about how sour it will be, and like what the taste is gonna depend on your climate, and that some climates are better for it than others. Just like I think, yeah. I refuse to throw her out, but I can try convincing her.
Excellent. Good luck, my friend.
Yep. Okay. So I have a logic of 8. It's a hard check, but I can try it.
A number of things don't add up. Let's take a look.
I did it!
How about gather around, kids?
Okay, kids. Now, gather around.
The young speed freak puts down a busted capacitor and looks at you. The one with the large head seems very enthusiastic about whatever you have planned. Their would-be leader is less amused.
Sometime in the past, I'm not sure when and where, but betrayal was involved. I fell sick and became the shadow you see now. But before that, I have reason to believe I was a police detective.
But you still are.
Ooh, there are 2 different choices here to say, and they're both interesting. I don't know which one to say. Ooh. Hey, silly, how are you? You can feed your sourdough starter beer. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, workbench? Nice, Hawkeye. Maybe some sugar, this for the starter. I can't find egg bagels anywhere these days. No one seems to know why. Oh, interesting. Could be true, but we have HVAC now. Oh, I suppose that's true. Yeah. My new headcanon says it's them, Chem, is that people who are into baking bread are calling it yeast culture. Nothing beats a good old egg and onion bagel right from the oven. So today we're trying to go and like talk to the kid about drugs. I'm gonna say I was good enough in this job to be awarded the rank of Lieutenant Euphrator. I could have been a captain. Imagine that.
What happened?
Huh. Oh, I did. I happened to myself.
That's a real downer.
He shakes his large head. Now, obviously, that might as well have been 1,000 years ago, but there's still some detective left in me.
The young speed freak is silent. He senses something is wrong.
This isn't the makings of a club, it's a tent full of laboratory equipment for manufacturing drugs.
I have no idea how you arrived at that conclusion, but it's wrong. Look, we even have speakers.
He points at the speaker.
One speaker. They have one speaker.
The nosafed is here for its active ingredient.
He said it was for his nose. What more do you want?
Likely pseudoephedrine. Almost exactly the shape of ephedrine. Ephedrine makes you happy, and so does pseudoephedrine.
You have no headphones. Wouldn't Estelle need her headphones to spin tape?
What do you know about spinning tape? Nothing.
I know a lot, actually, because I used to go to the disco. And where's his friend? Did he lose his friend?
What do you mean, friend?
The other speaker. You only have one. If you only have one, it's mono, not stereo.
It's a one-speaker system.
Mm-mm.
It's monodynamic. You wouldn't know the first thing about sound reproduction in anodic music. Other speaker.
I don't think you understand. I have bell bottoms. I've danced the night away.
This may be the brain damage talking, but you've definitely never heard of monodynamic or one-speaker systems.
The distilled water, cornerstone of a clean lab.
And of all cellular-based life, what's your point, Lawbringer?
Well, there's no need for me to pile on anymore, is there?
No shit.
So, in short, you tried to use a police detective to set up a drug lab.
That's... Come on, that's...
Ooh, I don't know what to say. That's a good question. I don't want to say punishable by summary execution. That's very harsh. Don't want to say that. Ooh, I don't know. Not going with disco happened. I'm shocked. Well, I feel like it wasn't the disco. I don't want to blame the disco. Don't blame it on the DJ. Not gonna lie, when I'm scaling up dry yeast, I refer to my head as the Yeasty Boys. Okay, that's the best though. Sabotage. I'm struggling today, trying to force myself to make and eat food. Oh, and my continuing saga of trying to make good jammy eggs is still not going well. Okay, so silly. This morning, I was like, I want to eat breakfast. And so I made scrambled eggs with cheese and salsa and put it on toast. Eggs are always good. Eggs, I can recommend eggs. Maybe that will be... And the thing is, scrambled eggs don't take too long to make. Also, beans on toast, that's a thing, right? Do you have an Instapot? 2-minute steam, high pressure, then quick release into an ice bath makes perfect jammy eggs. Wait, hold on. Excuse me, Scarlet Rose just has given us a quote that we have to add. Hold on. I think it's add quote. I think it's add quote. Let me see if that's right. I did. Because you may not know this, but we have a quote system here in the Foxhole. We haven't added a quote in a while, but Scarlet Rose forced us to add the quote. So we have added the quote. I've been trying to sous vide. I have some questions because I do not know what a jammy egg is. I just assumed jammy eggs were like scrambled eggs with toast with jam on them, but I'm suspecting that is not the case. That jammy eggs are jammy eggs like Soft-boiled eggs? I want to learn new vocabulary. Uh, if all laws had only lethal consequences, I wonder how the things would be. Oh, cocaine. The cocaine, the game, wasn't all that it was cracked up to be from PH. So good. I finally made myself French toast. Been wanting it for a week or two. Okay, jammy eggs are soft-boiled eggs where the yolk is like jam. The kind of eggs you'll have topping your ramen. Oh, okay. I always hard boil my eggs, like hard. Like, yeah, I hard boil my eggs. So, speaking of ramen, I lived in Korea for a year, and when I was in Korea in the early 90s, from 1991 to 1992, usually what happened is they wouldn't put like an egg on top. What they would do is, now this was like not a fancy restaurant, you're just like out and about. Hard boiled, like, oh, roller. Yep. So, okay, and I'm going to give you the tip that I was given, and it's really good. So you boil your water for your ramen, right? The cheap ramen noodles. And once it's boiling, you take 1 or 2 slices of Velveeta cheese. Not real cheese, but Velveeta cheese. You throw it in the boiling water. Let it melt like it will do almost immediately. And then you would throw in your eggs, and then you'd kind of scramble the eggs in the boiling water. And then you'd throw in your noodles, and you'd let them cook up. And then you would, once they're done, then you would put in your spice packet. And it's very nice, actually. That is a really nice way to make your ramen, like your basic cheap. You know what? I haven't had ramen in a really long time. I mean, like cheap ramen, like top ramen. I've not had ramen in a while. And now I kind of want some ramen. I think I'm going to need Velveeta cheese. I have eggs. Yeah, I think I need some ramen. I like the blue ones. The fake shrimp. Ooh, no, silly, but here's the thing. It's not good. And I would, look, I'm telling you, I would never eat Velveeta in any other context. It's not my jam, but it's really good. It just makes the ramen broth it's just really good. Emulsified cheese product, at least American cheese is, I don't know. So I was watching a YouTube video essay on American cheese. American cheese is a real cheese. It's a particular kind of mix of different cheeses. That's what you get. Like if you get actual real American cheese, it is an actual cheese. I didn't know about that, but it's an actual cheese. But Velveeta is not that. I add eggs about 30 seconds from the end of my noodle cook time. Oh, that's good too. The American cheese is the best melting cheese for many kinds of breakfast sandwiches and burgers. My father to make up ramen for lunch all the time. I really need to go and I need to go and eat some ramen. Add the spam and such for Korean army stew. Yeah. If you time it perfectly, you get wonderful poached egg yolk. If you don't get it right, you mix the yolk into the broth for wonderful creaminess. Yes, no. So I think. So this is what I'm going to say about American cheese, because Scarlet Rose is saying, "Don't shame the American cheese." I think. Was it the Nile Red video where he made his own American cheese? Yes, it was. It was pretty cool, right? That was really cool. And one of the things is that I think that there are a number of things that are American cuisine that are actually quite good if you actually get good versions of them, but people often don't get the good versions of them, right? So like when I lived in Germany, my German friends like to say that Americans had no food. You Americans, you have no food. You have no food culture. You have no food kitchen, they'd say. And of course, like, I was like, no, we have food. Like, you and your McDonald's. And I was like, we have food other than McDonald's in the United States. And they kept going on and on about how, like, we had no food culture. They'd gone on about it for a long, long time. And I was like, look, hamburgers are actually very, very good. McDonald's are not the best example of a hamburger. Like, there are places you can go to get hamburgers that are delicious and wonderful. You're just comparing McDonald's. Like, McDonald's hamburger is not like fast food hamburgers are not the ideal version of a hamburger. You know what I mean? And I think that's the same thing with American cheese. There is like an ideal version of American cheese, and then there's like the cheaper versions of American cheese. That's all, yeah. And yeah, so that was like actually kind of neat. McDonald's, yeah, no. See, Roller, you know, McDonald's is not a standard. It's, I mean, like, it's fine, but it's not like. Have you ever been to like Fuddruckers or like there are these various like hamburger places that are like they're good hamburgers, and you're like, oh, I can't remember where it was. I went to some restaurant. It wasn't like a fancy restaurant, but it was like a mid-range restaurant. Do you know what I mean? It was like for like a fancy burger restaurant. No, it wasn't. When I say fancy, you're gonna read me wrong. You're gonna think I mean something different. Red Robin. Oh yeah, that's a good one too. Also, McDonald's overseas is way better. Oh, it is. It's also way weirder. Like I don't. And by the way, I don't mean that in a bad way. It kind of depends on which McDonald's you're talking about, which country overseas you're talking about. But when I lived in Germany, the McDonald's were very good because they used locally sourced meat and all of that. But they also had these theme weeks. So they'd have like French week, Französische Woche by McDonald's. And at French week, you could get the McChicken Cordon Bleu. And they would have like a camembert, deep fried camembert with cranberry sauce. And I don't know if the other thing they had was, of course, they had like the McCroissant or whatever, right? And then they had the Mexican week, where they had Los Tachos, which were like deep fried. Kind of like pizza rolls, but triangle shaped, and on the inside was like corn and spiced ground beef, kind of with taco spices. And I think they had a couple other things that were like for Mexican week. They also had like a Japanese week, which had like a teriyaki McChicken. And then they also had an American week. They had American week at McDonald's. And the American week had like steak fries with sour cream and the McRib. Anyway, so they had like special themed. And side note, remember, I lived in Germany from 92 to 97. They had vegetarian options. They had like vegetarian nuggets, vegetarian burgers, and they had actually like, they were pretty good. They had like pretty good vegetarian options back in the 90s over there. So yes, it was good. Scarlet Rose says, all food culture everywhere is the power of amalgamation of existing food and finding new ways to share it. It's just here in the U.S. with all of our immigration and openness to experiment, we did it more often than anywhere else in the world. Absolutely. Just how it's like comparing a street corner doner with one from a high-end Turkish restaurant. Yeah. Although I will tell you, I do love a good street corner doner. A good street corner doner kebab is pretty excellent. I'm also not... stalling for this choice. Now I want to see. I want a doner kebab too. I want a doner kebab like the ones I would get from the street corner in Augsburg, Germany, because they were delicious. You've only had one good doner kebab since it. Oh, yeah, Millie, I'm with you. All this talk. Did you make food yet, Trooper? I had. I did. I had a scrambled egg sandwich this morning, and then I had some split pea soup. Like at 5, and after the stream tonight, but before Critical Role, I will have some chicken adobo. I think I need to defrost some ground beef so I can make chili. That was a touch of capitalism for, yeah. Tell a European who gets hung up on hating American food to give up potatoes, tomatoes, and many squashes if they have it, and also chocolate, and also, I mean, you know. I make kebab sometimes at home from scratch on the barbecue. Oh. But you know when you go to the kebab stand and they've got like that entire like rotisserie and they just like cut the rotisserie. Oh, so good. So they went on and on about how we have no food culture. Because that was like, look, they were hipster Germans. So they were like, you know how it is. And I found a cookbook in the PX bookstore. And it was called The American Cookbook. And I bought it and I gave it to them. And I was like, here you go. And this cookbook was so cool. I wish I'd bought 2 copies because it would have been really neat if I'd had a copy for myself. But I didn't. I just bought one because, you know. but each chapter of the book was a different regional cuisine of the United States. So they had Midwestern cuisine, Tex-Mex, Cajun, Southern, New England, California. They had like all these different regional cuisines, and each chapter was like a different American cuisine. And I remember thinking, California cuisine? What's that? Because I'm from California, and I was like, I wonder what that is. And I looked, and I was like, oh, avocado, Brussels sprouts, Monterey Jack cheese. Yeah. Absolutely. That's California cuisine. Yeah, that's fair. But it was actually really neat because I got to see like various stews from the Midwest and Yankee pot roasts, and it was actually very neat to sort of see the differences. It was a really cool cookbook, and I gave it to them. I was like, here you go, boom. Come on, we've got food. It was. I'm sad that I don't have it. Oh, I'm sorry. If you'll excuse me, I forgot about something, and then you have just reminded me. I have to do this right now. I have to pull up a tab. Because if I do not pull up a tab, I'm going to forget it, and I don't want to forget it. Because this was like a cool thing. So when I lived in Germany, okay, so when I lived in Germany, sometimes you'd go to the Vaclav Havel. You'd go to the CD store, and they'd have CDs, and sometimes those CDs are not exactly mainstream releases. Sometimes they're a little bit sketchy European releases, and there was a... Let me see if I can find it, because I was like, oh, I need to... So this is what happened. There was a CD, and not ebooks. Oh, come on. Anyway, there was a CD. Apparently, Bill Clinton had gone to the Czechoslovakia at the time, and Václav Havel gave him a saxophone as a present, and this was at a small jazz club in Prague, and Bill Clinton played the sax at this jazz club, and Václav Havel was there, and there was a bootleg CD made of this concert. And I remember seeing it and thinking, oh, I think I should buy this because it's a bootleg CD and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it again, but I had no money. And so I didn't. And then, of course, I could never get it again because it was a bootleg CD and was not around. And so I just need to find this CD and get it now that I'm a person who actually makes more money than a soldier makes, which is not a lot of money. And I think it was called The Two Presidents. And I thought that I could find it at Discogs, and oh, no, there it is. Two Presidents Jam Session 94. I think that was but the thing is, what is the name of there was a CD. I'm going to have to find it. Anyway, not that you care, but I wanted to share that with you. Worst 90s hipster Germans. Yeah. There's a restaurant near my home called Amir that makes sandwiches like that. Ooh. Vault is like, I think we're all looking for some, pot roast. It is really Midwest cooking if it doesn't, is it really Midwest cooking if it doesn't have scary green salad made from marshmallow fluff and pistachio pudding? Maybe. I'm going to go with against the law, I guess.
I meant to say, not true.
I'm not going to throw the person on the bus. So what are we going to do with you?
What do you mean, do?
There's resignation in his voice. He's almost ready to drop the act. It wouldn't take a lot of pushing.
Ooh, a nap PB. Naps are so good.
The optimal way to go about this would be indifference. It begins by you telling him you don't care about any of this.
Okay. I don't really care. I just wanted to crack the case. Do what you want and I'll do what I want.
Really?
Okay, okay. Uh, so, do I keep it up? Oh no! Krellin! Sorry, I'm name checking Krellin because this is that moment in games where I don't know if what I'm saying is what I. Sometimes in video games, they don't tell you if you are being tricky or if you're being sincere. And I don't know if really I wanted to ask about something else. I think I have to go with the first one. I think, I mean, I don't know if this is the right one, but we'll do this one.
Or else?
There's an audible clank as he lets a wrench drop into his toolbox. I said, we'll see. Now speak.
He thinks for a moment, then opens his mouth, but closes it again, then finally raises his hands.
Things are just way too hard for an entrepreneur in this city. It's not like we're not going to turn the church into the wickedest club in East Revershall. Because we are! We totally are!
Are you? Are you?
We just got to turn it into a speed lab first.
That's no good, my friend. Oh, feed the cats. Krellin, what was I going to tell you? No. Yes, wait. Krellin, wait. Krellin, you, oh gosh, what was it? Hold on. I think I lost it. You said something that was funny, but you said it like a year ago, and I just, you know what? Go feed the cats. Feed the cats.
You know, to get our foot in the door.
And why did you need me?
Like I told you, spooky arseholes moved in while I was getting all this stuff together. A month ago, the place was empty, and now it's all spooked up.
They're not really spooky, are they?
No, man. They're spooky, all right. It's just that they would also probably call the police if we started cooking speed in there.
Yeah.
But the sign was way off, too. I couldn't feel the love at all.
I couldn't feel the love at all. 1990s Euro disco, EDM, a lot of songs about love. That's all. Years since that sounds like funny stuff, right? No. There was a specific thing that I was like, oh no, this is related to that Krellin said, and now I can't remember what it was. It was funny though.
So, what now?
I don't know what now.
This is it. Judgment time.
I don't want to bribe. I don't want to arrest them. I want to just have the club, but no speed. Baby, don't hurt me. Let's do this clean. No speed lab, just a club for nautic music.
Yeah!
The young man's smile widens to inhuman proportions. His teeth beam in the floodlight.
I knew it.
The would-be leader drops his spiked head between his knees.
It's impossible now.
You're playing Pack this weekend, Trooper? And with that jealousy bomb... Wait, Krellin, wait! I just wanted to say one more time how elegant and wonderful the Pathfinder Adventure card game is. It is so well done. It is one of the, I just find it to be such great game design. I know the person who originally made a game called Apocrypha, but I've never played. I played a demo of it at Gen Con a couple years ago, and it didn't really grab me. But then again, you never know. They often you often don't get the full experience when you play it at the demo, so I don't know if it's good or not. That's all. That's all I have to say. Go, cats.
No, Andre, it's harder now. This hard cop has come to show us how much the fish is, and the fish is always so much more. We all know there was never going to be a club for nautic music with the Speed Lab. Now it has a fighting chance.
Hey, Sarf, how you doing? I agree on the games having moments where you would have meant something different than the choice ends up. Yes. Okay, thank you, Sarf. You totally, thank you. Sarf got me to remember what it was that Krellin had said. Yes, I'm ready. Choice ends up dictating. I've enjoyed the ones with context or motion cues per each choice more. Yes. or find them more approachable. Also help and hope all's well. Hello, hello. So I agree with you completely. Like I'm much happier if they tell you context, lie, or context, sarcasm. You're like, I just generally, Mike Selinker hates you and you're fun, and that's his game design philosophy. I'd not heard the best things about Apocrypha, but I really do like Pathfinder. I think that was just so well done, the first edition. But yeah, that should be hello, not help. I see you. Typing isn't my strong point. No, I see you. Was so sad they got lost in Pathfinder's growing pains. Yeah. If we ever got together, can break out the Apocrypha, have the whole thing. Do you really? Vulpus, how did you like it? Since you have it, you can give me feedback, because I only played Apocrypha, the demo at Gen Con. And of course, with a demo, you don't get everything. And I don't know, does it play well? Like, how would you compare it to... Basically, I found the... But of course, when you do the demo, they don't let you play very long. It's just like a really short, like, here's a round, so you can see what a round is like. But, like, the round, I didn't feel like it really gave me a sense of, like, how missions work and how, like, your deck building works. So, how was it? How was Apocrypha? Vulpes, I would like your review, if you would be so willing, because I'm interested. Artie, how are you? It's so good to see you. Hey, Artie. Why was I thinking about you? I was thinking about you because the name Artie Snack. But why was that? I don't know. Maybe I had a dream. I had weird dreams the other night that involved probably spy stuff. It's unclear. It's okay. There's some really interesting ideas. You can see how it built on the same ideas as the Pathfinder Adventure card game. Demos are neat, but they are very much the Costco samples of conventions. Yeah. And I feel like sometimes you can get enough of a vibe, but the thing is, Sarf, you're right? I think Sarif, don't like it. Rock the Casbah. What I meant is that with a lot of board game demos, you don't even really get to play the game. Like, they don't, if you, so when I used to go to Gen Con, I've not gone to Gen Con since the pandemic, but I would always make it an effort to play RPGs that I hadn't played before. I was like, oh, I'd heard really good things about this RPG. Let me go and play it. But that's like a full 4-hour session, 3 to 4 hours. But with board games, I find, there's usually a long line to sort of demo the new cool board game, and you only get to play it for 15, 20 minutes, right? And that's often not enough time to really get how the game works. You can get a taste sometimes, and I suppose some games demo better at 20 minutes than others, but I didn't get the feeling that Apocrypha would really give me the vibe in 20 minutes. I was just like, oh, I don't yet know really what, because I just didn't know what the vibe was. I got a sense of it, and the art was beautiful. The setting was very much like the Lost World, Dark World. That game, Red Thread Games, they did Dreamfall. They did that MMO. There was an urban fantasy sort of MMO, Lost World. Anyway, it had that vibe. I thought it was pretty cool, but I just couldn't get a really good handle on it. It was just too short. Yeah. Spill the beans. I promise I'm not a spy. It's fine. It's serif. Oh, like sans serif. Ah, just spelled different. Thanks for the serenade. Hey, if somebody says something that makes me think of a song, it might just happen. The serenade might just happen. Serif, don't like it. Rock the typeface. Rock the typeface. I also played Last Epoch too late last night, so I'm feeling today I'm too old for that now. Yeah. Like hearing just the tones of a song, but needing more than the melody. Yes, right? You're like, oh wait, I don't know how the song finishes yet, Yeah, absolutely. Yep. That's just like trying to run an Exalted one-shot. It just doesn't work. Yeah. Oh, I hadn't thought about that. So, I'm gonna say. So there was never going to be a club in there.
There needs to be a club for Nordic music in there. Needs to. Everyone hates each other. Everybody hates it here. It's all just drugs and we're slaves and I can't. We are running out of time.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
We need a win, Andre. I promise this will be a win. We won't cook speed in there. We'll do it clean. We'll do it true. We'll do it sober and real and beautiful. This will be a victory for the light.
All right. Well, let's call this incident crime prevention, but I have my eye on you.
Okay, we'll try to do it without the drugs.
Good. He raises his head from between his knees.
We'll do a straight club up in there, spinning the maddest reels and nothing but. I swear to God. Okay, Egg? From here on, it'll be straight all the way.
I feel like Egg, just wants some hypnotic music. He wants a little bit of you know what I mean? Just a little techno. Just a little techno. Just that's just what people want sometimes. Well, that's it for now.
Officer.
Thank you. I did it, I think. I feel like I did something good. I'm gonna just check my my missions, because I feel like I did some good stuff. Inspect the traps. I'm almost there. Dead body in the boardwalk. I've got to go deal with that. Get Estelle to talk to her associates. Okay. I don't know if that's right yet. Help the Riverside nightclub. Convince Suna to cooperate with the Raves or a Victor. Okay, I bet we can do that before we go. Find Idiot Doom Spiral's jacket. Actually, I think I did that. I think I did do that. At least I think I did. We'll find out. Take the Stuffberg to Gart. Okay. Prove my authority. I gotta paint on the walls. I did the apartment door. I just haven't gone back to Everett because I'm afraid of him. The jam mystery. I still don't know who the driver is. Still need to find out who put the clothes there. Joyce tattoos. Sends the victim's party to processing. Okay. I need to sing karaoke, everybody. It's just a question. Okay. Okay.
Hello again.
Your associates tried to use me to set up a drug lab. I'm guessing you knew of this plan?
I did, and I'm sorry.
It's all right.
For what it's worth, which isn't much.
She doesn't appear surprised.
This is why I didn't go into the tent. Typical delinquency.
You don't get to choose your posse, they choose you. Mine are idiots, but they're mine. I tried to talk Andre out of it. I even tried not to lie to you.
Yes.
Indeed, she merely tried to omit the truth instead.
Oh. I'm gonna read chat because that's a hard choice. I don't know what to say here, so I'm going to just read chat. That's really what it is. Rock the paper, rock the paper. I really don't like it. I really don't like it. Font the toolbar, font the toolbar. Yeah, Hawkeye's so good at Filks. Volpa says, at the time Pathfinder was going through growing pains and bringing out Pathfinder 2, they're changing leadership through the card game under the bus and canceled it. Then brought off the second ed that changed everything and wouldn't mix the earlier versions. It's also when Seliker left to work on his own company stuff. So, Volpa's, I don't have the second edition of Pathfinder, but some of my friends who I've played Pathfinder with have it, and they're like, they don't think it's as good. They think that in trying to slim things down, they say that Pathfinder 2 just does not work as well. So, says Krellin, my new cyberpunk group, my new cyberpunk group, I have two cyberpunk groups happening now, is going to be a band. Ooh, nice. And we're the band of the run, and I'm thinking about how Paul McCartney likes taking unfinished songs and stitching them together into his patchwork songs. Yes. I was talking about the Beatles in class on Tuesday, by the way. Interesting when the issues with Wizards popped up, some evacuated Python. Were you singing the Imperial theme there? No, I was thinking I was just thinking that's for what I was doing there already was the house piano. There's a lot of like bum bum ba-da bum bum ba-da bum bum ba-da bum bum ba-da. There's like there's a thing. It feels like a good resolution. Egghead needs the vibe of the music, not so much the milk plus it sounds. Wouldn't be chatting on Twitch without a casual dalliance with sweet Automod. Automod hangs out too much, you know. Vulpus says Secret World. That was it. Was the MMO trooper, thank you. And while being scary horror themed kinda, a big theme in Apocrypha is a whole bunch of authors wrote stories, and the missions are each fully separate story. Everything from serial killers to werewolves to demons. Oh, I really feel like I should play it. I'm back. You took an important phone call. Oh, I hope everything's okay. I wanted to play the Secret World, but it was not back compatible. When my psychiatrist calls, I usually answer the phone. Okay, but here's the question. Do you answer the phone with like a funny hello? Like when the psychiatrist calls, do you go, hello? Or just something goofy? Because I would sometimes do that because that would make me laugh. I will say, it said you opted to admit the truth. It's the same thing.
I know, but I knew you'd see through their plan too. I'm not an idiot.
Yeah.
I should have been able to control them, and I will in the future. I promise. May I ask, what did you tell them?
Do what you will with your dance club plans, just no drug labs, please.
Thank you. I'll get them under wraps, I promise.
The young woman nods. Oh. Well, leave it for now. So it's like 8:29 in game. Hey, it's about the same time, which makes me think that it's going to be getting kind of dark. We should probably head out. I really do think that we have that grody jacket. Where did I put it? I know I picked up the grody jacket. Yeah, there it is. Like, see, look, grody jacket right over there. Filthy grody jacket. I wonder, like, Okay, it's raining. Yeah, the secret, look, and I really like that company, Red Thread. I think they did Conan. But I really like them as well as a company. I mean, at least I suppose I could say that I really liked, where are we? I really liked Dreamfall. Oh, I know where we are. I'm going to give this guy his jacket back. Look, I just want you to know that we are kicking butt and taking names, and we're going to give the guy his jacket back, and it's going to be great.
Tequila sunset.
He nods in appreciation. I often answer the phone with a random word like purple. That's nice. I enjoyed it until I got to the point where you need a group to really progress. I was able to do a lot in World of Warcraft just solo. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Today you were too out of it. I get that. Krellin says, when I like when game design is lore. Like how getting to come back from dying was part of the game's lore. Oh, yeah, I like that too. I really like when there's a good synergy between that. I love seeing the doctor's number and answering something like, Joe's morgue, you stab him, we slap him. Or Morton's house of whips and chains, you gotta finish, we can beat it. That's a good one. That's a good one. I appreciate that one. Yeah. WoW was a lot more solo friendly. Yeah, I could do like most everything solo, or at least like, I mean, I couldn't do big raids, but of course that's fine. I will often will not answer the phone at all, but I thought my psychiatrist might be calling this afternoon. We've been discussing your future treatment options. Because I know you appreciate the deck building aspects, try Balatro. It's a deck building poker game and it's so good. Oh, what's it like? Balatro. Balatro. Gonna open up a tab. This is what you make me do. Balatro game. Balatro. Huh. Okay. Interesting. Just pulled it up. On Steam. Just pulled it up. All right, let's see. I found your jacket.
Ah, tequila. I knew you'd come through. That's fucking great, man.
I found a little more than I bargained for.
What's that supposed to mean?
There was a dead body nearby.
What's that got to do with my jacket?
Probably nothing. Forget about it. I'll just give you the jacket.
Let me see. What? This isn't my jacket. My jacket was beautiful. This is fucking filthy. What am I supposed to do with this?
What do you expect? You left it outside for a week.
I'm not taking a disgusting pile of hobo rags. I may be in an irrecoverably decaying orbit, but I've still got standards.
Okay, fine.
Either bring it back the way it was before, or find a dumpster to burn it in.
You know, despite the guano, it looks like the jacket itself is stain resistant. It may just need a good scrubbing.
Okay. He does have stories that I do want to hear about, but I feel like we'll come back to him. We'll come back to those stories. Okay, so I believe that what we should do is, you know, you never know here. Okay, I think we need to come back out the way we came. Oh, it's getting kind of late though. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. I'm not worried about it. We're gonna go and look at. There should be another one of these traps around here, and if we can find the trap, then there it is. We might be able to do like a whole other questy thing.
This trap's not too hard to spot, once you know what to look for. Keeping it hidden has not been a priority for the cryptozoologist.
I will look around.
The reeds bend forlornly toward the sand. Some tufts have been crushed. The broken stalks seem like a rebuke. The sound of the city hums in the east. The constant, distant song, louder on this part of the coast, nearer somehow. And there's that cold again. Always the cold.
Okay, I'm gonna reach for the trap.
Nothing but locusts in this trap as well. Definitely no cryptozoological monstrosity.
Fair enough.
Empty as all of them. One more of these and we're done.
His face is red from the cold sea air. He crouches to catch his breath. You getting tired?
No, I'm fine. I didn't mean to complain, it's just...
He's short-winded. The sentence ends there. Interesting. So, y'all, we have lovely, delicious things. Oh, I don't think we've been here. I think this is part of the area we have not yet been. We have not. That is the thing. This is true. We have not explored this side. So that's cool. That's good to know. We have a whole area we can explore. But it is also getting late. Not in real life. I just meant in the game. And I kind of get the sense that maybe we should check that last trap while we're here. And then... oh, hey, you know what? I had a thought. We have thoughts happening. And how long do we have before they're done? The wasteland... Oh, we have a while before they're done. So that's 16 hours for the wastelands of reality? What in the world was I doing? And then 3 hours for the apricot chewing gum scented one. I don't know what we're going to do after... Thoughts. That's all. Sorry, I have a lot of feelings. We're just gonna give it a look, see if we can find the peoples. Oh, okay. I feel like we might find the crypto thing.
This is the last of the traps. The one Morel just set. Checking it over, he said, is just a technicality.
Look around.
The reeds by the abandoned campsite hiss and shake in the lazily falling rain. The later it gets, the colder. Remnants of the camp can still be seen in the sand. The fire that's gone out. You feel strange, somehow.
Why do I feel strange? All right, I'm going to reach for the trap.
The trap feels light and silent as you pick it up. Something is different here.
People! Cryptids! I'm going to look closer.
No locust. No phasmid either, but still.
I'm going to look closer still.
Well, the bait worked on something. This doesn't mean it was a reed monster, though. Unless you see one in there, I just see an empty trap.
What if it was the phasmid? What if it ate them and got out? Yeah, it probably wasn't the phasmid. You're right. They still need to know. You're right. But what if it was the phasmid? What if it ate them and got out?
Right. Anyway, that's for the cryptozoologists to figure out now. We are not cryptozoologists. We are cops.
Okay. I'm going to look around one more time, though.
The reeds by the abandoned campsite hiss. The later it gets.
Or I'll leave. Well, I mean, that's something. We have some kind of cryptozoology. These soggy logs smell of ignition fluid. Still, they won't light up. Yeah. Also, anything here? Mysteriousness? I feel like the phasmid was hanging out right over there in the reeds. I really feel like that. Nobody listens. Not you all. The game doesn't listen. Let me see. I'm walking this way. If anyone hasn't tried it, I highly recommend Pawnbarian, roguelike chess puzzler with deck building aspects. Oh, interesting. How does that work? I prefer my deck builders fantasy or sci-fi themed. I don't know if I have a specific preference on that one. Try the demo. Everyone I know who tried it says the same thing. Oh, it doesn't look like anything I'd like, but followed by spit out. I was playing it. Pawnbarian is also on phones. Oh. I played the demo and then the game launched and the demo stopped working. So here's the thing. Oh, wait. Inside you hear the cozy sound of some kind of heater sputtering. Allez-vous en... I think I should sleep. Right? I think I should sleep because it's like, I mean, it's 8:30.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches. It almost looks like the electronic patterns inside a radio computer for you to discover. You've gotten as far as you will without assistance.
Right, but how do I get assistance on this?
Someone close to the victim might know.
Okay.
Someone who knows about history could tell you.
Okay. Okay. I've got to show this tattoo to somebody who knows about history. Maybe. And or who's close to the victim. Okay. Also, I think I've got to, like, do something with this
As
jacket.
you hold it in your hands, it makes an uncomfortable crunching sound.
Why did I follow this jacket
There is
again?
no why.
No. There is, because I have to, like, wash it, I think. I don't have to, but I think I should. Alright, so I've got a bunch of stuff. I don't want to die. So let's, okay, it's just that it's... I mean... Okay, so here's the thing. It feels like 8:30 is so awkward. 8:38 is so awkward, because I think 9 o'clock is, like, when you have to pay for things. But I feel like we might have time. I don't know. I don't want to go across the river. I want to stay... You know what? This is what we're going to do. We're going to go and walk over to that other side, where there are a couple of things we could probably look at before we go to bed. We just won't go across the bridge. That's all. Because why would we do that? There's no need. But we can check out. Do you know? So there's a woman. She's a YouTuber. Her name is Shan Spear. No, that is a person, but Intellectual Media. And she's doing this. She does a series on various time periods. And I was watching her talk about the 90s, and I was like, oh man, those are a bunch of like very detailed. Those are a bunch of details I hadn't thought about in a while. So that was actually kind of cool. Someone's broken down the fence and the barbed wire. Okay. Well, let's see. I think this was a good choice, everybody. The swing is missing. No one's been here for a long time. Glory, says the graffito, to the ghosts of us. Something very melancholy about this, you know? I was, by the way, I think my British invasion lecture went really well today, on Tuesday. Wait. Somebody's left their music collection? Hold on. The smallest church in Saint-Cyr. I just got a tape, which means maybe I can go do karaoke. The tape you found from a shack on the coast. The A-side has smallest church in Saint-Cyr written on it, while the B-side is supposed to contain the instrumental version, requires a boombox to play. I might have solved my karaoke problem. I don't know how excited you are. Wait, about
Rust
this, but
peels off the bent iron posts of the swing. The wind whistles through the skeleton of the small house behind you. There's desolation everywhere.
what happened here?
In this yard?
The lieutenant looks at the small building. A flock of gray swallows takes off in the distance.
Someone thought they could have a summer house in a bloc obscur for cheap. It didn't work out. They abandoned it about a decade ago.
Wait, what's a bloc obscur?
A black bloc, a part of the city left unrenovated after the war, or one that has fallen to gang violence, or has become inhospitable in some other way.
On aerial photos, block obscures look like dark squares, hence their name.
Oh, so this part of the coast is a bloc obscur?
Practically, it's not an official term in any way, but look around. No sewage, broken power lines, crime, drunks. Life is tough in the blocks. It's no place to build a summer house.
At least they left some old music behind.
Yes, and you picked it up because you're a post-apocalyptic scavenger who collects trash and magnesium blisters.
He gives me a weary smile. I'm so glad he knows me well.
It's not meant as nagging, just an observation.
I know.
We should move. I don't think we will solve the murder with forays into the urban hinterland, at least in this phase of the investigation.
Okay. I take it. I did want to just see if we can go in this building, which has nothing in it, so I feel good. I feel so good that I'm clearly going to just read chat and see what chat has to say, because chat is the best out of all the chats in the world. This is the bestest of all the chats. It's one of your favorite deck builders outside of Slay the Spire. I've been enjoying Slay the Spire. Cat sleeps and will eat me. Pawn Barbarian is a puzzler based on chess. You are a barbarian delving into dungeons. Cool. Your moves each turn are based on chess pieces drawn from your deck of moves. The pieces have meta characteristics that can evolve during a run. Each turn, you're trying to figure out how to take out the monsters while not dying. Krellin says, so I've been making vampire characters with 450 experience points because I'm making future sires. And some of the game design in V5 is really good, I agree. Like, I've got 2 of these vamps with high levels of presence with only one shared power, and 2 with high levels of protein, and they have no shared powers. Yeah, I think that was a really good move in V5. I think that sort of consolidating a number of the disciplines, right, like vicissitude doesn't exist anymore, and then making them sort of branches where you sort of pick. And I think the amalgam system, I think there's a lot of really good design in V5. I think there are a couple things that could have been just like fixed a bit more, but I think there's a lot. I actually, look, you know me. I really love second edition, but I also really love V5. I think it's a great addition, and like I mean, basically, I think mechanically it's better than second edition. I think there could be some things that like I think they had a couple of holdovers they could have ditched. Like, I think like how sometimes when people like when they redo something they don't ditch everything, and I think they could have ditched a couple of things, but what is this? Traffic beyond the gate, more abandoned motor lorries. Oh, interesting, motor lorries. Hey, maybe we'll find the you know the the drug mule. Jamrock Biker Cop Sunnies. Hey, we got new sunglasses. Our current sunglasses, what are these? +1 empathy, -1 logic. I think still not good enough. Not better than what we currently have. I don't think. Hey, everybody, I'm feeling really excited about these. The sign says no entry. Someone scribbled an inverted star on it. Okay, but we can still go in, right? No? Dang. Okay, there are trucks around here somewhere. Although I don't know if we can get access to them. That's sort of a... This is the way we came in. They're not going to let us in that way. And I don't think there's anywhere else we can go on this side of the river. Yeah, that looks very much like the bottom of the map, which means I think the only thing we can do next is go back up, but I don't know. Oh. Is there like an info? Well, we have these tasks, not all of which we can do. I'm feeling good. And I'm feeling good. Okay, this is very hard. I'm going to read chat because this is a hard choice. There we go. Chat reading. However, with their 1 XP per session design decision, I don't know how they expect anyone to even ever notice things like this. Yeah. See, that's what I meant, Krellin, about like some things are weirdly tuned. Like they want to resist power creep, but I'm not quite sure that's the way to do it. A boombox like the one in the room you have to pay for. Yes. Yes. Well, I don't want to pay for it, though. We'll come back the next day. A private psychedelic reel. I'm having one of those days where words don't look real when I write them. Yes, or when you say them out loud. Like how D&D 5e didn't manage to completely abandon alignment, even though they A, should, and B, it doesn't even do anything. Yes, like sometimes they're just like little things that I feel like they had a really good idea, and they just didn't finish the like. Basically, they had some of these holdovers. Like, I just don't think you actually need. Yeah, I just don't think you need alignment in 5e. They could have just got rid of it, but they kept it like a sacred cow. And look, I am a person who believes that some people have been, there's that question, like, what would you do? Somebody at SJ Games asked, Steve Jackson Games asked, what would you do, like, for a theoretical 5th edition of GURPS? And there were these people who were like, oh, I know how I would make GURPS really good for the 5th edition. I'd get rid of the point buy, I'd make it, like, class and level based. I'd get rid of, like, 1-second turns. I'd actually, and what they were describing, like, and I'd, like, do it kind of like Powered by the Apocalypse, where like only the player's role is like wait. That's just not GURPS anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like I think there's certain kinds of changes that for me evidence that you just don't like the game. So that's probably not great. I think that when you make a new edition, the game should remain the game, but I also think that you can make bold moves and changes. And sometimes if you're too uh, too wedded to the old moment. You can't fully make the changes to like revitalize it. So there's like basically there's a line to walk. Is what I'm trying to say. Right? There's a line between, like for me, it's like this. I'm okay with bold new ideas, but I want the people making them to actually like the game. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. You mean stop being GURPS? Yeah. Cognitive dissonance can be useful fuel. It is for me all the time, and I think it's like there's that line to walk, right? Like I don't want a new edition if it's exactly the same as the old edition. Then I just could use the old edition. I don't need a new edition if it's the same as the old one. But I also think how do I say this? Okay. There are people who are like, you know how I would fix D&D? And they say a bunch of things. It's like, oh, but then you're not, just say you don't like D&D. You know what I mean? Like, and I try to be personally very aware of differences. Like, for example, I do not prefer class and level systems. I would never say that D&D should get rid of class and level systems, though, because that's what the game is about. And if I play D&D, like, I know that's what the deal is. I might say, I don't think you need alignment. I think you can do something different. I might say, like, I think thinking about the spirit of D&D. Oh, thanks. The spirit of D&D going back to, like, back in the day. Because first off, alignment back in the day wasn't what it, like, first edition D&D was, like, OD&D was pretty vague. But, like, I think the idea of, like, planes of chaos or that kind of stuff. So I think, actually, back in the day, you just had law, chaos, and neutral, right? You didn't have good and evil. And I feel like you could go back to that. And you can have them be large forces rather than, like, dictates about people. Like, I feel like you can use some of the original ideas and have them still work. You just don't need what it became. I don't think that was particularly useful. Systems have identities, and when they stop being that thing, they stop being themselves. Absolutely. Absolutely. You want a new game experience while still knowing you're playing a genuine Descendant. Right, and I also think... Well, let me put it this way. Hey, Krellin. Was it Shadowrun 5? No. Shadowrun 60, was it? That people were like, oh, this is not a good edition. Like, I just don't think you should be making a new edition just to make money. And if you'd make a new edition, you should have a reason for it. I feel the same way about Shakespeare. Like, don't stage Romeo and Juliet if you don't have anything new to say. Like, why do Romeo and Juliet if you're going to do it the exact same way that people have done it already? Like, why? It's like all those, like, musical revivals on Broadway that don't do anything new or different. It's just like, oh, we're going to be doing, like, Chicago again. And, like, I like Chicago, but I just don't see why you're going to do Chicago again if you have nothing new to say about it. Like, have something new to say or don't do it. Do you know what I mean? That's all. I guess it's like, it's a fine line to walk. With so many systems, stick with what makes you unique and go from there. Absolutely. 6th with the edition, everyone was like, what are you doing? Yeah. 5th was, yeah, people liked 5th, right? And I think 6th people were like, what is going on with 6th? It was like just a copy of 5th, but not well done. Yeah. So I sort of think, I have stuff for 5th. I think you want to, and look, I think you can change things, and sometimes I think you can make bold changes, but I think fundamentally you have to like the game, right? You have to think, what are the things that make this game, as PB says, that make it unique, and what can you do with that, right? And I think Vampire's about that struggle to not lose your humanity in certain ways, and what can you do with that makes it interesting? I think 6's problem was that it was half-baked. Yes, I think that was also the case, right? Sometimes keeping simplicity can encourage embellishment. Sometimes the balance is what pruning is done. Yes. Yeah. Yes, I agree, right? And so I think, and look, again, when I say that I prefer not class level systems, I don't think there's anything wrong with class level systems. It's just not my preference. But I'll certainly play it. And D&D as a game can do lots of things. It can't do everything, but it can do lots of things. But it's also not like, here's the thing: D&D is not Tunnels and Trolls. It's also not RuneQuest. It's also not Rollmaster. It's also not Vaesen, right? It's like those are all different games, and I think sometimes people are like, "Oh, I really, really love RuneQuest." So if somebody's going to ask me how to make D&D better, I would just say turn D&D into RuneQuest. But why would you do that? Because you already have RuneQuest. So basically, it's like a. But for me, that's like a. I think that's like about. I think sometimes people don't give feedback thoughtfully. That's what I'm going to say. Sometimes I think they're not really thoughtful in their feedback. Feel the same way when they say they want to change a comic character to a different ethnicity, gender. Don't just do it to do it. Give me a real reason why I should embrace new characters and yeah. And the thing is, there are a lot of things I think are fine, right? Like if you have a reason, like if it's interesting, if you have something to do it, like cool, that can be interesting. Like, but you have to. Now, I will say it's a little bit tricky with like sometimes comic book characters are tricky. I think I'm a little bit looser with comic book characters because they just swap people all the time. Do you know what I mean? Like again, I'm saying this as a DC person for whom there was like more than one Superman existing before Crisis on Infinite Earths. There was Earth 1 Superman and Earth 2 Superman. There's like 14 different Flashes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm used to a multiverse where there are 18,000 different versions of a particular character, and I'm like, okay, that's how comic books go. So I'm like, but I would just hope that whenever you do something, you have a thought process and a reason, because it gets tiring. They're like, here's the new edgy version. You're like, but you're not even really that edgy. You're actually just kind of boring, and you're wearing leather. Okay, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, make the player, viewer, user feel it's right or acceptable. Yeah, the first live role of Catwoman was Eartha Kitt. She was perfect. She was great. She was really good. And then that Julie Newmar. I can't remember which one came first, because I know that Julie Newmar and Eartha Kitt were both on that one. I imagine there was a different Catwoman from the serials in the 40s or 50s, but not the point. Like, I don't mind. I don't mind those things, especially if you're gonna like. You just have to like. To quote Krellin, just don't be half-baked. I feel like sometimes people make sequels, and they have no reason to make it, and they just are like, oh, we should just make a sequel for this thing. That'll make us money. And I was like, well, what do you want to say? You're back. Newmar was first. Eartha filled in with Newmar's. Thank you, Huck. I knew that there was like an order they did it. Those are the worst. Yeah, I know. And the thing is, I remember, wait. Hey, look at my friends. We're doing like friend things. Hey, we're doing friend things, everybody. Did you see that? We're doing friend things. It's like we have friends. Oh, hey, we're doing friend things. My character has a friend. He's not alone. He's not gonna die alone. He just might die with his friend. Yay! Growing up on soaps or comics teach you that no one stays dead, or the same. Yep. I mean, because that's the thing, right? Like, we've all read our soap operas, right? Where there's just a different actor playing the same character, and nobody seems to notice. They're just there. Nobody seems to notice. Just there you go. And you're like, oh okay. I guess this character's a new character. Like, but usually there's a reason. They got into a car accident and this became a different actor all of a sudden for no reason we can really understand. It does happen, I guess. I suppose I could do Samar and Butter. Visual calculus. Okay, well, did I need? You know what? I didn't go back into the church. Should have gone back into the church, everybody, to talk to that woman, to finish up that situation. Yeah. I made a poor choice, everyone. That's okay. That's okay. I need some visual calculus. Let's get some visual calculus stuff going on and see if we've got anything that'll be really good. And if so, then okay, I've got a jacket that might be good for visual calculus. Yeah, let's do that. Let's swap jackets. Uh, Visual calculus. Okay, some neat shades. Oh, actually, both are fine. Cool. Visual calculus. Okay. Look at me! Woo! Alright, we see if we can find this Samaran butter. I'm not 100% sure where it is, but... Here?
The shine on these sunglasses lasts a lifetime, officer. 100% guaranteed.
No, I actually wanted the Samaran butter. Where is it? I'm gonna leave for now. Hold on. So Samaran butter. What is my quest? Samaran butter. Samaran butter. It seems to be a bit more south than the... Well, I don't know what that quest is, actually. What do you think? If you look at the, here, look, I'll show you the map. This right here, those are the sunglasses, right? So, if we look at our map, Samaran butter is there. The sunglasses are there, right? So the sunglasses seem to be a bit north of Samaran butter. But, I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to read chat. I kind of feel there was a clear sense that Newmar and Kits were different people who were both also Catwomen, not like Catwoman was suddenly black. I guess I'd also say another thing that sort of impacts me is that I did a lot of theater, and theater is just less attached to realism than film or TV is. I know, I love Kim too. Kim is so great. I've watched most of stuff. Oh yeah. Pretend I didn't typo Earth is fair. Kidnapped and subjected to plastic surgery by the current villain. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes the current villain just puts you in plastic surgery. I remember I was watching Days of Our Lives in college, and before one episode there was just an announcement: the part of character will not be played by actor. And that was that. Yep, I remember that. Also, sometimes when it was in Young and the Restless, there was a person who played Kate Chancellor, who was like one of the grand dames of the soap, and like the actor who played her had been on the soap since the soap started, right? So had been like in the soap for a very, very long time. And I remember that, and because, they film every day without stop, basically. At one point in time, I think that she was sick or something, and I remember we're watching the soap, and all of a sudden, some other woman who was not the woman who played Kate Chancellor is just there. And people are like, Kate? And you just heard this voiceover saying, the part of Kate Chancellor today will be played by Giselle McKenzie. And I did not know who Giselle McKenzie was, but Giselle McKenzie was playing Kate Chancellor for like a week or so. And you're just like, okay. I stepped into a church. I found along the way. That's such a good song, Hawkeye. Why call it soap opera? It's neither clean nor musical. Well, it's operatic. In terms of plots, like the kind of scope of them. They usually had a lot of heavy musical elements, and they called them soap operas because the early sponsors for soap operas had to be soap companies, like clothes washing soaps. I think it was when they brought back Bow to replace Replacement Bow, probably. Roman and whoever, Marlena, yeah, oh yeah. Oh, the Samaritan Butter store. Oh, maybe Max, yeah. Also, the cats have finally eaten. I don't have to run around chasing them with food plates anymore. Dahlia has new cats. She caught them. So I'm not quite certain. We're going to just have to... Hello, Eve. Eve the Orphan. Eve the Orphan sounds like the name of a character in a Western. I'm Eve. Eve the Orphan. And then you know, I could go in here, but I don't think he wants to talk to me. We'll see. Hence why the Colgate Palmolive have their own TV production company. Oh, yeah. See, I don't think...
The boomboxes wait on the shelves, and your boombox, that gold and amber Harmon Wowshi, stares at you longingly with its tape reel eyes.
Oh, so that boombox is pricey. We might have to buy it. We'll have to come back later to find out. And Eve the Orphan is played by Johnny Cash. Hello, I'm Eve the Orphan. Yes. So I feel like there's a whole Samaritan butter thing. Butterfingers. It's fine. You know what? We are going to go up here because we clearly have time before we have to go up there. We'll make a couple of calls. We'll make calls. We have to do this anyway.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Radio.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Please come into the Jamrock Public Library.
I'm afraid they're closed. It says here that the library is open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
I see.
We should try again during business hours.
I guess.
Anything else, detective?
I need to report a dead body on the Martinez Boardwalk.
One moment.
I hear her shuffling through papers.
Can you please describe the body? Age, sex, cause of death?
An unidentified, but I'm going to be able to identify him later. An unidentified middle-aged man, height 170 to 175 centimeters, dark hair, medium build, looks like he slipped, fell through a hole in the boardwalk and hit his head against a metal bench.
We suspect he might have been inebriated when he fell. There were bottles all around him, and traces of vomit on his shirt.
Any signs of violence?
No, it seems like it was an accident.
No field autopsy necessary.
Sure, Pete.
What about his belongings? Did you examine his clothes?
He was wearing boots, trousers, and an old leather jacket with a bright blue lining. I found a library card from his pockets.
Any information on the library card?
It's from Central Jamrock Public Library. It belongs to someone named Billy Mejean.
Good. You have a lead.
I know.
Do you and Lieutenant Kitsuragi want to take the case, or should I assign it to someone else?
We're taking the case.
I have assigned the case to Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Please follow up on this library lead to identify the man. We'll send someone to take the body to the morgue. That's all for now. Thank you for reporting in. Is there anything else I can do for you?
I don't think so. Thank you.
57, over and out.
In the cabin, you
Bye.
see a set of steering levers.
Okay, just go. Just out. I need the cats to take care of me instead of me taking care of them. It's fair. Hello, a character in a Western. That's a new one. That's a new one. I like that. It's actually based off of Mage's Ascension. Oh, nice. Mage's Ascension. Okay, so I have follow-up questions for you. You wish you could sound like that? I think it's just hard living. Oh, that kind of orphan. Do you want a tradition, or are you glad you don't fit in? Questions. Does the police force know you have amnesia? Well, I kind of haven't told them completely. I also haven't told them that I don't have my gun, that it's just sort of missing. There are a lot of things I haven't really told them. Also, I think I've been drunk for 5 days. So, you know, I've not been a really good police officer. I think I've been a very drunk police officer. And, you know, it's been a day. It's been a day. We're gonna go in here and we're gonna check in with our cryptozoologists. Hey, it's cryptozoologists. Hey, everybody. Hi, cryptozoologists. This place is hopping. Oh, hey, wait. It's before 9 o'clock. That means I can still go to my room, right? And I can try to check my, I can try to check there's a tape player. I can try to check the tape player, and I can find out if I can sing karaoke, because that's really important. I mean, I'm saying it's really important. Okay. Oh, come on. You're not gonna let me. You're not gonna let me do it, are you? Point of order. I do not think that this tape player is functioning in any way. I think I'm going to have to buy a tape player at the, pawn shop. Who's that?
Hello, officer. Name's Gary. Boy, am I ever so grateful to you. But I'm not the only one who wants to thank you.
Nods towards Lena. Okay, cool. Yeah. I'm going to talk to Morel, but I'm also going to read chat.
It's great to see you again, officer. My wife can't wait to thank you. Go on, talk to her.
Okay, I did. Okay. Cool, okay, fine. I'll check chat then, if you don't want to talk to me.
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you.
I got my badge. I found my badge. I still don't have my gun, though. The police force on a need-to-know basis at this point. They don't need to know a lot of things, like how drunk I have been and how much liver damage I have. They don't need to know it. Yep, it's more because the character is based off of Survive the Apocalypse and became Eve as in Adam and Eve in the New World. Ooh. I saw that in some of the lore that they were the first mages, hence picking Orphan, as they kind of predated the traditions. Honestly, I'd probably pick Dreamspeaker, though. Oh, nice. There's a tape player down in the gamer's basement room. Yes. Yes, there was. I can go there. Yep. Perhaps the room's tape player is a cassette base and the tape player reel-to-reel. Yeah, maybe. I don't like them either. He has some sweet NFT Sicilian bitcoins. So, yeah, I'm just doing my job, ma'am.
Here, I want to give you a small token of my gratitude. It's a tie.
Oh.
Mexican origin. The pin is an antique. Quite special.
Oh.
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. It's in the shape of an avian skull with 8 eyes.
Oh.
You could ask her about this when you get the time. It's probably a cryptid, but the phasmid, of course, is more important.
Yeah, you've never told me you've seen the phasmid.
Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
I've got phasmid news.
Ramblings? Nonsense. Your description of the phasmid is the most precise I've ever heard.
Someone stole his monkeys. Yeah, I want a reel-to-reel player. Oh, yeah. When I did my undergraduate in electronic music composition, and part of what we did was that we started with reel-to-reel tapes. We had to start from the beginning, right? So we got a reel-to-reel cassette recorder. We would record sounds. We would then learn how to cut and splice, and how to cut tape. Right, you can do a straight cut to cut out a chunk and then put it in, or you can cut at an angle, and then right. So it's you'd get a grease pencil. You'd be listening, stop, note where it is in the head, move it, mark it, the grease pencil, mark where you want to go and cut. Do you know how loops work? It's really interesting. I'm going to tell you a story. A reel-to-reel player. Nice. Loops. Loops. The way you would do a loop is that you would take the tape, the reel-to-reel tape, and you would cut it, and then you would tape it together so it makes a big long loop. And then when you would play it, it would like loop back in and on itself. And Pauline Oliveros, the electronic musician, told this story about how she had this loop that was like really, really long. That she wanted this really long loop. So it was actually, so she had to put the reel-to-reel machine at the end of this hallway in our music building, and then go to the very other end of the hallway and hold the other end of the loop with a pencil, so that then she could get the really long loop to play, which she then would record, right? So that was, so you would actually have to physically just like, she was like down the end of the hallway. It was like a 10-foot loop probably that would like go. And she would like hold it and would just do the thing. So anyway, I just thought that you would find that very cool because I thought that was pretty cool. Hey, Wandering DM. How are you, Wandering DM? How are you? You say loops, I hear. The system is down. Madame, we are using terms like phasmid. The older, more shakily voiced your story is, the more I feel required to hear. I agree.
Darling, I didn't even get the size of it right.
It only breathes sheetrock dust now. Oh, how did renovations go?
You were a child, my dear. Really. It's extraordinary what you were able to describe. Now go on. Tell our friend about it. He's proven his interest in the field.
Yes.
Reflexively, the lieutenant read his familiar notebook.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When, all of a sudden...
what happened?
I looked up, and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I'd never seen anything like it. The reeds turned into a creature.
Wow, so this has been a thing you've been like sitting with ever since you were a kid.
I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds.
Did you follow it?
I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there, knee-deep in mud, looking around me.
Where did you go? Don't go.
Then what?
I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys. That
Thank you,
sort
30.
of thing. Of course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel.
I think, Krellin, I think the ministry is the singular form. I think the plural form is the ministforest.
We were on a date. Can you imagine? She tells me a story.
Ministry.
It's the most detailed report of the Insulindian phasmid I've ever heard.
Forest.
The sounds. She told me it hissed.
The coterie of mortals is going to end up being a Toreador, Zemiski, Zemish, Hakata, and a ministry. I agree with the maniacal laughter. What's the non-sci version of yes, give in to the dark side? Yeah. I was going to guess minister as well. Minister? But I try. I do try.
So that's how they met. This is beyond significant for them.
It did, yes. Like reeds in a gust of wind.
The way it moved, the colour, how some of its limbs were white, like marble. It matched perfectly with what I know from other accounts. It was amazing.
Interesting.
If it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say that she restored my faith in my profession.
He looks at her with admiration, forgetting a wide smile on his face. You were on a date?
Our first, yes.
Now, its limbs were white.
Not all of it.
White.
There is some white coloration reported. along with beige, where the camouflage ends.
So how big was it?
It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself. To me, it seemed to be taller than I was then, but that's probably not the case.
So I have a middle school. I went to middle school, went to a middle school in San Francisco, and the middle school is on this one block, and like let's say this was my middle school, then this here would be my high school. So the middle school and high school were like almost touched corners. And I remember when I was in high school, I was like maybe a senior, and I went back to the middle school to say hi to my teachers. And the weirdest thing happened. They'd torn down my middle school and replaced it with an exact replica that was just smaller than it was when I was there. And also, my teachers were shorter than they were when I was going there. And I don't know why they just kind of shrunk it. Because when I was going to middle school, it was a much bigger place. But they just somehow secretly during that summer must have torn it down and replaced it with a version that was just a little bit smaller than when I went there. At least that's how it felt to me. I know that was not the case, but nonetheless. Let's see. Kim, what do you think of this?
I thought it was a wonderful story, man.
He closes his notes and gives her a simple smile.
But I don't believe it. A child left unattended on a warm day. Children make up stories and then end up believing them.
Thank you for sharing this with me.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
And she could get up and walk right into the reeds on her own, into the mud, anywhere.
So I actually have information that I would like to share with you about the cryptids.
Nothing like the gratitude of a good woman. Now then, what can I do for you?
He gives you a gruff pat on the shoulder.
He tries to play it cool, remain professorial, but inside, this man is itching for some news on those traps.
I went to go vote at my elementary school, and I could not believe the size of everything, including the stacks. This is what I mean, and it was so weird. Like, I remember thinking, oh, everything looks a bit smaller. That's weird. And then when I saw my art teacher, and she was... Like, when I was in middle school, my art teacher was, like, really tall. And then when I saw her later, and I'm only 5'6", I was like, I'm taller than her. Okay, like... I think she was 5 foot tall. Do you know what I mean? And she seemed so big when I was in middle school. She seemed just giant. And then she, I don't know what happened. Of the potion on the side table with the drink bee tag of the school lunches, or perhaps pumped to the climate control as aerosol. I think that's what happened. It must have been. So I checked all the traps.
Okay.
And one of them was empty.
Completely empty?
Yes, there was nothing in the trap. No locusts, no phasmid.
No locusts? No phasmid either?
That's not ideal, but...
The empty trap was the one at your campsite. Maybe this factors into it somehow?
I definitely left that one stocked.
Right from the campsite? Just means the Insulindian phasmid is even more clever than we thought.
Tell me more, as her face lights up.
Of course, more clever.
The detective whispers to himself.
You're dealing with a subject near and dear to their hearts. It might behove you to tread lightly.
I will.
Yes. The Phantasmodea picked off the locust and escaped. This is good news, though we'll have to reconsider the design of the traps. Make them more secure.
Probably, yeah. Seraph said, I had a music teacher who could have fallen on the whole class and killed us all, and later in life I met him again and could easily see the balls put on the top of his head without yeah, right? And I just think that's so, I don't know what it's like with you, but I have memories going back to when I was 2. And the thing about it is when I remember myself, I don't remember myself being a 3-year-old. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think of myself as being like myself still.
Another trip to the reeds.
but of course I was not a grown up person. I was 3 years old. You know what I mean? And like when I think about certain things, I can. So when I lived in the mountains, right, and I lived in this cabin in the woods in the mountains. The cabin itself with no electricity, right, all that business, no hot water, good times, and the cabin, this wood cabin, right, no electricity, all that stuff, had an outhouse. We had an outhouse, but the door to this cabin was a metal door, and the metal door didn't really have a lock on it, I don't think, or might have had a latch maybe, but I remember that the door was really heavy. I couldn't open it. So whenever I wanted to go to the outhouse, I'd have to get my godparents who I was living with to open the door for me. And I remember one time grabbing a hold of the handle, and the handle was like, you know those handles that are not like a knob, but like a handle, right? You know? And I remember grabbing onto it and putting my feet on like the frame of the wall and pulling with all of my might. I was a very small little child. Pulling with all my might, and I just could not get the door open. And so clearly, I also remember sitting in the sink, like getting a bath in the kitchen sink. So I was clearly small and not big, but I don't perceive myself as being super tiny. Do you know? I don't know if y'all are like that, but I'm like that. Like I know from context clues, I was clearly very tiny. I was 3 years old, right? And I could take a. I remember distinctly taking a bath in the sink and the kitchen sink. By the way, kitchen is like a very loose word. It was like basically one big cabin, and I'm sitting in the sink, and the sink is right in front of the window, and I'm getting like rinsed off, and I see my mom coming up the dirt road. She walked all the way up because where I lived was like in the middle of the mountains, and there's like a dirt road that went up into the mountains, and my mom had taken a taxi cab to come and get me. I didn't know she was coming. I don't know if my godparents knew she was coming. Anyway, she took this taxi cab to come and get me. She'd been away for a year in Japan, and the taxi cab driver would not drive up the road, would not take the taxi up the road to where the cabins were because it was like super remote. So he dropped her off on the main highway that goes through town, and so she walked with her luggage all the way up the mountainside. And I remember sitting in the sink, and I'm looking out the window, and then I see my mom, and I just completely naked just ran out of the house, out of the cabin, got my mom, and so clearly I was very small, but I just don't. In my memory, I don't feel small. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if I'm the only person who remembers themselves as, yeah. Well, that's just yeah. Happiness in a wasp station. Yeah, it was. And then my mom. Okay, so my mom had come to get me, and she brought me. I will never forget it. She brought me a package of the almond windmill cookies. Do you remember those almond? Do you know those? They look like little Swedish windmills, but they're like, I suppose almond gingerbread cookies. I suppose. And it was great. I was like, oh, these are so great. Yeah. Anyway, I was clearly very small. I was like 3 years old, but I didn't, and it was a big kitchen sink, right? It was one of those like big kitchen sinks, I guess. Well, actually, I don't know how big it was. In my mind, in my memory, it was a pretty big kitchen sink, but like bigger than like a bathroom sink or anything like that. But actually, I don't know. Yes, my grandma had those cookies all the time. Yeah, you know the ones. Never had an almond when. Oh, they were really good. I think that they came from a kind of a specific company. They used to be 2 of my hands big, and other maybe 3 fingers. Because yeah, Seraph, you know, they were like really big, and they were actually not that big. Carl says, while there might be things you legitimately remember from that young, it's highly likely your memories are secondhand reflections of stories you were told of your younger self. Because memory is weird. Archway of Prism. See, I have memories of things that when there were nobody else was around. Like I have memories from when I was 2 years old that nobody. I ran off a lot. And all the memories I have from when I'm 2. Now that one about my mom I was 3, but the ones I have from when I'm 2, they're very specific. In their like, when I say specific, I don't mean that the memories themselves are specific. I mean like there's a thread about how the memories work. They're always very they're not long form memories. They're like moments, and there's always something about them that's very unique. Maybe they're third-hand stories. You told them later, told them back. Um, I don't think I remember any size-specific cues. I do remember gorging myself on chewable Flintstones vitamins. I remember that. I did that too. And I vaguely remember the feeling of climbing the shower curtain when I was like 2. Mm. The same people who make the crunchy iced oatmeal cookies that are the very best. Oh, I love those iced oatmeal cookies. Those are so good. I don't remember when the shower curtain bar came down, like my first lasting scar. Yeah, and I will note, like, I have a memory of burning my finger. I remember that very distinctly. Like, I don't have a lot of memories from when I was 2, but I do have some, and I know that I was 2 because I only lived in San Diego when I was 2. I lived in San Diego for 1 year when I was 2, and that's it. And like I remember, I was a very curious kid, and that was not always the best. You know, not always the best, because sometimes I would like. I remember the spiral on the stove burner. You know, it was like one of those electric stoves with a spiral, and it was cooking, and it was like orange. It was this beautiful orange color, and I thought it was really pretty looking, and I wanted to touch it. And my mom was like, "No, you cannot touch it. It's hot. It will burn you." And I was like, "Okay." But my mom could not watch me always. She had to look away at some point in time. And I remember just waiting for my moment, and then I touched it. And then it really hurt. And then the next thing I remember is that I remember I had like a big blister on my finger that she had to pop with a needle. And I was not happy. That's one of my like 2-year-old memories. But one of the other ones, this is one where like my mother could not have told me, because I had this habit of running away from my mom in public. Not because I wasn't running away from her. I wasn't like I was trying to escape her. But it's more like I like to walk around as a 2-year-old and see interesting things. And I remember, and the minute she turned her head, if she just looked away for one moment, I was gone. I was out. And I remember we were somewhere in San Diego, and I smelled something. And I remember wandering off, and I walked into an alley. Like an alley. And there were these 3 Asian boys, and they had feathered hair because it was like 1974. They had black feathered hair. They had these like satin vests, and they were setting off fireworks, but they were fireworks that were the kind that they were like the pellets that would put off colored smoke. So I remember seeing them light these pellets of colored smoke, and there was like yellow smoke and blue smoke and this kind of pink smoke and a green smoke. And I remember it smelled all weird. It smells like gunpowder, really. And I remember just watching them and like watching the smoke that they were letting off, and like being fascinated. And then I heard my mom calling for me, so then I left the alley and found my mom, who was freaking out. Oh, 15 minutes. Yep. Even my youngest memories were too vivid and detailed through my eyes to be story rendered. I recall distinctly climbing onto a high chair on my own and not being able to shut the sliding shower doors under my own power. Yeah, and the thing is, I often don't have like the connectors. Like the memories I have when I'm like 2 or 3. 3 actually have better memories, but 2, I often don't have the connectors. It'll be like a moment, like touching the thing, or now, there are memories that I know that I don't remember that somebody told me. Like when I got this, I have a scar in my belly that I got when I was 2 years old because, again, I was interested in things that I was not supposed to touch. In this case, it was one of the furnaces, the hot water heaters, the furnace, you know what I mean? The kind of accordion looking ones. And I thought it was really interesting. And my mom was like, "No, do not touch it." But she had to go to the bathroom sooner or later. And then I went over there, and my belly hit it, and I still have a scar to this day, a little like kind of square scar, a rectangular scar from that thing. And that one I don't really remember. I can picture it, but I know that's a memory that somebody told me. That one I know is like a memory that was told to me, because it doesn't have the same kind of texture as the memories that I remember. it's too continuous to be like one of my 2-year-old memories. My 2-year-old memories are like touching the thing, um, playing with this like disc that had purple and white sand in it that you could like turn the disc and the sand would like mix like an hourglass, but it was like a plastic disc. Like yeah, so I have anyway. Uh, but my theory is, uh, probably don't. Yeah, yeah. I hugged a radiator. It was a bad idea, but I liked it. I was a very curious kid, very very curious kid. PB says, "Oh, absolutely." When I was still of crawling, my mom looked away from me for a moment, and when she looked back, I was nowhere. We were home, outside. They spent like 30 minutes looking for me. That's with that mom's intuition. She looked up, and I was looking down at her from the roof. I somehow climbed the ladder. My dad was using to clean the gutters. I was fine, but I sure did give them a scare. Oh yeah, that I don't remember, but I wish I did because that what a ride that would have been. I will say this. Yeah, no, I was. Look, I climbed up things. I climbed up everything. I will say this one thing, and this is a theory that I have that I cannot prove. It's about memory. I have memories going back to two. I know people who do not have whose earliest memories are when they were 5 or 6 years old. That's like their earliest memories. And I have a thought about this, and I cannot confirm it, but I ask people. All the people I know who do not have really early memories, ha- let me rephrase it. All the people I know who have very very early memories before 5 or 6 all have a couple things in common so far. One, they moved. Either they moved or they had something kind of traumatic happen. And I was thinking about, and the people I know who like maybe just didn't move, their first memories usually come right around when they start school. And I'm thinking that if you don't move, this is my theory, I cannot prove it, but if you don't move, it's really hard to know if that memory is from when you were 3 or 4 or 2 or 5, because there's nothing to distinguish those like units. Like the only way I know that certain things happened when I was 2 is because I only lived in San Diego when I was 2. I lived in San Diego when I was 2. I lived in the mountains when I was 3, and then I came to San Francisco when I was 4. So when I remember a San Diego thing, I know that was when I was 2. When I remember things in the mountains, and also San Diego, and then the mountains and San Francisco are all really, really different places. And so I kind of think that having something to ground the memories is what helps me remember them. I still don't have like I don't have a lot of memories from my 2. I only have like a couple. This like only have a couple. Um, Listening to The Entertainer by Scott Joplin. Like I have a couple at this one diner, a couple here and there. I have like memories of like sounds of songs. Maybe like 1, 2, 3, maybe like 4 or 5, maybe 5 or 6 memories from when I was 2. More as I get older. But I really think it has something to do with being able to ground yourself in a particular location. That's my current working theory is what I've got. The stories of our youth are fleshed out and encountered. Our recollections to be snippets and flashes of small. Yes, these little snippets. That would be a wonderful story. Yeah, I was a super climber. I could climb out of my crib before I could walk. Ooh, I moved and had trauma, and I don't have early memories. Oh, interesting. But I also don't really remember a lot of life details anyway. Oh, that's interesting. My parents put the playpen upside down on me because I always climbed out. Oh, yeah. A lot of my memories I only know when they happened because of where I was too. Yeah, like for me it's really because there was such radical different shapes. So I don't know yet, but I also know that I always think it's weird personally because I have these memories. Like I have memories from when I was 2, when I was 3, when I was 4. We lived in North Beach, so I have memories from then. When I was, it was when I was 5. We moved to San Francisco, not to the Richmond district in San Francisco. And then it becomes like I have to like ground my memories in like who my teacher was at the time. But there's so many things I don't remember. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't remember everything. Just these little snippets of time. Yeah, yeah. A lot of my memories I only know. Yeah, I think it's on how your mind grabs at context and can change based on where and what age. Yeah, and you know what's so funny is that there are things that happened like 5 years ago and I totally forget them. I was like, oh yeah, Huh. And that's not that long ago at all. So I just find memory to be interesting. I'll say that's exactly what this is. A deft hunter, this phasmid.
Of course. Be sarcastic.
Mm-mm.
Unless you have an alternative hypothesis you'd like to venture. Mine stands, okay?
No, I'm not being sarcastic.
Actually, no. Excuse me for getting emotional. This is a big deal for us. You've helped us twice now, and brought some great news too. My gratitude, and the gratitude of the Société Cryptozoologique de Ravachol, is yours.
Thank you.
Heartfelt gratitude. But does it feel like closure? What really happened?
I don't know.
Thank you, it's an honor. We should probably return to our main investigation here. This has been refreshing, but...
I know.
Helping cryptozoologists isn't really a priority for our organization, is it? The lieutenant looks out the window, impatiently.
I could try to come up with an alternative, but I don't know if I should. I don't know if I should come up with an alternative theory. I don't want to break their hearts. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to break their hearts, but I could get XP for that. That's all. My only memory, says Emily, I know is mine and not a confabulation from stories from when I was 4, is the tree next to the apartment I climbed. Oh, yeah. Hawkeye says, Millie says, it was a tiny tree and no one has ever told me about it. Hawkeye says, my earliest memory was about 3.5 years old, waking up in a pew at the end of a church service. I do remember wondering, why do I know what these people's names are when riding home in the car? Oh, wow. PB says, my only memory as a small child was hating my pacifier. Oh, wow. I remember spitting it out in protest. I've been told by my parents that I get mad because it wasn't my bottle. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna just leave it. We're not gonna ruin their time. But we will take this.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I found a new bird for the whirling.
What is this thing?
It's no biggie. I just thought it would look nice on the wall. I'm that kind of cop.
What, the interior decorating kind? You know, I'm sorry. This is actually a nice bird. A competent piece of taxidermy.
Thank you.
I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess. So, I don't know. Thank you. I'm gonna go with thank you.
Thank you.
People just don't know how to accept gifts, especially taxidermy. He likes it. He likes the bird. It solves his broken bird problem.
See, I did a
feel
thing.
Good about our work here today. It's all about the little things, like bringing people random stuffed animals.
It's true.
It's not actually about that, but he liked it.
Goodbye. I'm not staying here tonight. So, here's the thing. We are 10 points away from leveling up. And, oh, hey, this is the tie. We didn't look at our tie. Oh. Inland Empire and also Volition. Oh, I think it's better than my angry tie. But okay, we can't leave this stream today before we talk about this problem. We have a conundrum, everybody. So this tie that I got from the cryptologist is better. It gives me 2 things rather than 1, and I suspect it won't yell at me and tell me hateful things. But I kind of would feel guilty abandoning my tie. I mean, it wants me to do really bad things that I think are bad ideas. Like, it's kind of self-destructive, and it's encouraging me to do bad things. But it also talks to me, and I think it's kind of my friend, or at least I've known it for a long time. I feel like that tie and I've gone through a lot of things. Can I just abandon the tie? Just leave it? Wouldn't it feel sad? Like I'm abandoning it? I don't know. I'm having feelings about this. Yeah. Uh, I have the most memories of trees and other things that come. I remember um, the very first time I got winded. You know when you like when you sorry when I got the very first time I got the wind knocked out of me. I was a I don't know how old I was. I was old enough to be running around. I was probably late elementary school, so maybe like 9 or 10, something like that, 8, 9, 10, 11, somewhere around there. And there was this, and we had like me and some like cousins or friends were running around. It was not where I grew up. Like we'd clearly gone off to somewhere else, like one of my parents' friends or something, and it might have been actually Marshall's place. There's a guy, David Marshall, and they always called him Marshall. I think my dad was in the army with him. Anyway, we were visiting. It might have been. It was either Marshall or this other painter. Like my dad was hanging out with Bohemians, and we were over there. There was like the neighborhood kids. I didn't know them, and we were running around like by train tracks. There's a lot of like stones, and anyway, there was a tree, and I remember we were trying to climb the tree, and the tree didn't have a lot of low branches to climb up on, but there was like a little branch, and I grabbed it really hard, and I was trying to like pull myself up, and so like I like started climbing my legs up on the tree trunk, and I'm holding the tree branch, and my legs are climbed up, and the tree branch, which was not very big, broke, and I landed straight on my back, like I just fell down off the I just fell down out of the tree right onto my back, and then I couldn't breathe, and I was like I didn't break anything, so I didn't feel pain. Like I didn't think, oh no, but I couldn't breathe. And I was trying to breathe in, but I couldn't get any air in. And I was like, what is this? I'd never had the wind knocked out of me before. And I remember freaking out because I was like, it was like a chill internal freak out because I'd never experienced that before. And I did not know what was happening. And all the kids around me were freaking out because they thought I was going to die. It worked out. It was fine. But I do remember that was like my first experience having the wind knocked out of me, and I was like, what is happening? The tie is not my friend. Maybe it should have at least a timeout in your inventory for a while. Maybe. It's a tie, not a person. I guess. I might have Stockholm Syndrome. I was in my 30s, says Max. It's a riddle wrapped in a mystery inside an enigma. I was playing tag with my friends. There was a place called Imagination Station, and I made up the rules that you had to stay on stuff and couldn't touch the ground. I fell. I thought I was dying. Yeah, I thought I was dying too. Oh, thank you, Rista. I will finish this tie situation. Hawkeye, you played football, right? Okay. I can't believe it's a bolo tie. Bolo ties are cool. I mean, I like those. They're awesome. I feel really weird not wearing my tie. Just so you know. Well, I suppose this is the end of our stream today. We have done a bunch of things. I am going to do my outros, and while I do my outros, I'm going to walk to where my character sleeps because I might as well, and we can chat as we follow up for the day. It's just, yeah, I did not like having the wind knocked out of me. I did not enjoy that. I found it to be not enjoyable. Those are my very deep thoughts. I thought I was dying. I'd never experienced that before. Yeah. You did in junior high, but I felt, wait. The first time I remember getting the wind knocked out of me, says Silly, I had to be between 4 and 7, probably 5 or 6. My older cousin did the jerk drop thing on the seesaw when I was sitting behind his brother, and his brother landed on top of me. They were at least twice my size. I think I passed out for... Yeah, oh. Yeah, that's no good. Hawkeye did in junior high, but I followed the sport. Because I don't know why, Hawkeye. I just somehow imagined that you played football in school. I just made that up but you just seem like you would have played football in school and then stopped. Like I didn't imagine you playing football past high school, but I could imagine you like being like the gentle giant, basically.
The door has seen better days. The layer of paint has started to peel off due to the salt and wind from the sea. Even the lock looks slightly rusted.
You just seem like you would have been
I'll
good
be
at it.
sleeping in my room in the whirling.
Okay.
We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
Okay. And this is my shack. And there's a lot of stuff in here, so we're gonna save. Having the wind knocked out of you is no fun. Oh, you coached baseball. Nice. I was a baseball kid. My friends were a bunch of high school football players formerly. They knew exactly what I'd done. Their explanation to me helped. I did get tagged, though. Yeah. Thank you, Nightbot. Bolo ties are very... Bolo ties, I actually have a really nice... I have an ugly bolo tie, but I have a really nice bolo tie. The cords need to be re-upped, though. I only really remember coming to before I could breathe again. Whew. It's been a portable garrots. Thank you for the awesome show. Thank you, Seraph. Be safe and stay rad. I will be rad. Like, totally tubular. Hawkeye gives me Silver Fang vibes, and one of the Silver Fang concepts is Glory Days quarterback. Oh, nice. Hawkeye says, I was not a great athlete. I was a very late bloomer for baseball, softball. These sports just focus on classwork and singing in swing choir. Yeah, I can see it. One of those guys that made up for lack of talent with hustle, but was never enough. Yeah, I was stubborn. Like, you were like hustle, I was like stubborn. Like, I was just like, I was not going to quit. Right? And that can make up for quite a lot. Like, I had a lot of conditioning, so when I played soccer, I would not get tired. I may not be as fast of a sprinter in the short term, and I may not have had the same ball handling skills as somebody who was like really good at it, but you were never going to get rid of me. I would always be there messing up your shot. Like, that was just what's going to happen. Like, you could run up and down the field all day long, and I was also going to run up and down the field all day long, and I was always just going to be there to mess up your shot. I would not actually get the ball in the goal, though. Like, I was not great enough yet as a kicker to make goals, but I was defense, and I was just going to be in the way forever. You can tackle kids 3 to 4 times your size and weight. Nice. So, yes. Thank you for the stream. Let's say what's next. So, 10 o'clock is Critical Role. If you want to hang out in our Discord, you can chat with us about it. And Friday, tomorrow, is going to be 2d6 Dungeon. We're going to continue level 2 of the dungeon. We only have 2 more sessions of 2d6 Dungeon before Traveler starts up again. So we're going to see, we'll just see how much dungeon we can get through before Traveler starts, and we'll just have to remember, we'll just come back to it later when we get time. And so tomorrow at 7 p.m. here will be 2d6 Dungeon, The Trials of Testacles. And then Monday at 8:30 p.m. over at Wandering DM's channel, we're going to have session 5 out of 6 for Montreal by Night. We're in the sewers, and my character is totally fine. And then back here for Thursday. Testacles the ballsy. That's what we're going to do. I never quit, but I was tired of being third string on the team in basketball or always in last place in track and field. Yeah, I get you. Yeah. Ironically, my son was much better in sports and is now a sports referee umpire for Kentucky and parts of Ohio. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, my uncle did referee work. Yeah, so my character, totally fine. Totally fine. I might want to check my mic. It's gotten a little scratchy. Okay. I will check it. Thank you. I think it's session 5. I think we've got one more after Monday. I'll see. All right, everybody, we gotta go. I'm gonna go. Thank you, everybody, for being here, for being just wonderful folks, for hanging out with me. I really needed it, and I will catch you all on the flip side, everybody. Take care of yourself. I'm not gonna raid because we're gonna do Critical Role in like a half hour. But until then, au revoir.